Park and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, and their signature cocktails. Now through July, for every $100 gift card you buy, get an extra $20 bonus card. Bonus cards cannot be used on the date of purchase. Go to KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. That's 480-607-1114.
Hello, everyone. Desert Equity Lending is back again with a mortgage product that we have all been waiting for. We are excited to offer once again the no document loan that we all remember from years ago. That's right. It's a true no document loan. Remember when stated income loans were available? They were the most popular mortgages available for self-employed, as well as for those borrowers that couldn't quite show enough income to qualify using regular underwriting guidelines. This new no doc loan is changing the way people get approved for a mortgage. Listen to this. No income, no problem. No tax returns, no problem. It doesn't take perfect credit to qualify either. If you have a good down payment and decent credit, you need to call now. These mortgages are being approved for primary residence as well as a second home. We are doing it the old-fashioned way. We use common sense underwriting to approve what other banks walk away from. Call 602-509-3000 to talk with a real person that can get you answers in hours, not days. That's 602-509-3000. Make the call. You will be glad you did. Desert Equity Lending. Desert Equity Lending, MB 0906989, NMLS 173369. Conditions and restrictions apply.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
People settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Welcome to Friday, everybody. We have reached the end of a work week. This is the Daily Blender, 3 o'clock straight up. As we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios, beautiful uptown Scottsdale. My name is Randy White, right over there. The man, the myth, the legend, Ralph from Harmon Solar joining us on the show, as is the sexiest man in sports talk radio, Keon Rose. I feel like I have to do that, Keon. You know?
Do you have to?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, and you're not going to hear any complaining from me.
You've got that syrupy, velvety voice. I mean, I hear you on late night jazz FM radio somewhere talking about, Sade, smooth operator, something like that. Keon Rose. He's spinning the stack of wax.
When I was in college, we had an hour show. It was a jazz show.
Oh, was it really?
I did the liners for her.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I
was thinking more like an 888 number. Just me. I don't know.
Hey, look, man, whatever pays the bills.
That'll pay them.
What is it? The my place? No, it's what is it now? All the kids are tuning in on. What is it? The fan account? Whatever.
OnlyFans.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
They could just watch Keon for an hour talk.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's talking.
Just because it's the OnlyFans. Probably not with the clothes on. That's not what the people go there for.
No.
Is
that all it is? It's just nakedity and lewd acts and lascivious behavior. Is that what it is?
Yep. That's what it is.
Fourth Dimension joining us on the text line at 888-368-1580 as we shift gears quickly here.
Yeah.
Jeffrey O'Brien is not in today. He's not here. He mumbled something this morning about making up for one of the days I had off last week when I attended the Weather Consortium there in New York City. I was in New York City attending the Weather Consortium, the Global Weather Consortium. So.
What does one do at a weather consortium?
Well, we network and talk weather, and you wouldn't understand, Ralph. You're solar, I'm weather. Let's just leave it there.
No relation whatsoever.
No. Triple 8-368-1580. Big George. Hello, gentlemen. Happy Friday. Where's Jeff go today? Jeff is not here. Jeffrey is out today. And yeah, we'll talk about that at a Diamondbacks game in just a minute, Big George. I know you want to get to the pain. You want to get right to the pain and probably get all your anger out. I understand, Big George. We'll talk about it in a second. Boomer Sooner just simply types Prancer.
Okay. Well, that's not today.
No, it doesn't start today.
Yeah, the Christmas in July.
Yeah, that's the Kasai Japanese Steakhouse Christmas in July campaign we have going on, where you can win a massive a $50 gift card from Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. You listen in on the blender each hour. We give the name of one of Santa's reindeer, and we're not going to make a big deal out of it. We're going to work it into our conversation. You know, sort of like what Rudolph would do. Rudolph would just be talking just normally. He wouldn't talk about it. And then when you hear the name of the reindeer, then you text it in right there. And each day, there will be a drawing for a $50 Kasai gift card. Also keep track of all the names given during the week. And if you text them in on Friday, you'll have a chance to win an additional $50 gift card from our friends at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's not happening today. Chief Skull, Rudolph. No, it's not happening today, Chief Skull. Bruno Baller wants Keon to say 7-Up the Uncola.
What?
Ha 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 ha. Come on, Keon.
Am I doing 7-Up?
Syrupy, velvety. Come on.
7-Up, the Uncola.
See, there you go.
I don't know what that means. What did I just say?
The Uncola.
I feel like I said something
See what
very
I'm saying?
wrong, and I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know.
Mr. Wilbur wants to ask the question, since there's no Jeffrey, can we make it a clean joke Friday? I need some new material. Are you asking us to come up with clean jokes? Ralph's here. I don't.
Whoa.
I don't. Do you have any clean jokes in your repertoire?
I'm sure I do.
Hmm.
They're all in Pippi's head, not mine, but
Hmm.
I guarantee you we have.
Chief Skull, no. Rudolph, no. No, Chief Skull, no. Navy Brad, Sir the Reindeer. No, that was not one of Santa's reindeer. Sorry.
That's a good one, though.
We're off to a rousing Friday start here. Only 4 minutes into the damn show, and we've already chaos is unfolding before our eyes here on the text line at 888-368-1580. Yeah, there was a ball game that happened in town last night. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Also, Victor Wembanyama is in action tonight. Surprise, surprise, he's playing for San Antonio. Gee, nobody saw that coming. U of A football has some big news. We'll talk about that. We've got some college football to talk about too. Are you guys like excited? 50 days from today for the beginning of college football.
I'm very excited.
I'm I'm all fired up. I cannot wait.
Yeah.
You know, I don't even really look at the countdowns, but 50
from today.
I can start paying attention around 50. Yeah.
And is it 2 weeks from today that training camp NFL is it 2 weeks? Training camps open?
Yeah, mid-July. A little bit after mid-July, July 20 something, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Wow, that's
some
crazy.
of the guys are getting into camp on the 18th. That's like a week and a half away. It's like 10 days.
It's coming fast, isn't it?
So we've got some college football to talk about later on the program. We're rating NFL quarterbacks according to CBS Sports. They have this tier system they came out with. Hey, we'll talk about that. There's a whole lot. The Damian Lillard drama goes on. I have a question. Now, Ralph, do you play the PlayStation or the other one? What is it? The
Xbox.
Microsoft Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't. I used to. I gave that
Now,
up.
did you play the NBA series? The NBA game?
Oh, yeah, I played all of them.
NBA 2K4 is going to feature Kobe and Sabrina Ionescu on their covers.
I saw the images from Kobe. That was pretty cool. It looked really, really good.
Now, I have questions about that. We're not going to talk about it right now, but I have some questions.
Okay.
And I know they're not misogynistic questions about Sabrina Ionescu being on the cover. No, you just go ahead and let that percolate for a while. I want to say happy birthday to Satchel Paige, born on this day, 1906, gentlemen. Satchel Paige.
Great ball player.
Did not reach the major leagues until 1948 when he came he became part of the I think it was the Cleveland Guardians, what used to be Indians, and he came in 1948. But listen to some of these stats. These are his official stats from Baseball Reference. His WAR, which I don't pay a whole lot of attention to WAR. I'm sorry. It's a flawed mathematical equation, and you can make up what you want. But his WAR, wins against replacement, was 47.0. His win and loss records, he was 124 and 82 with a lifetime ERA of 2.73. He pitched in 403 games. He had 44 saves. He pitched 1,751.2 innings, meaning 1,751 and 2/3 innings. Struck out 1,501, and his whip was 1.101. Satchel Paige, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, are those MLB or are those combined?
Baseball Reference.
But
I think they're the combined.
combined
I
from
think
Negro League
I
and-
think it is all combined
Okay.
on Baseball Reference.
Amazing.
So, wow. 8-time All-Star, 2-time World Series, 2-time ERA title. And he's in the Hall of Fame, rightfully so, by the way.
Yep.
Satchel Paige, ladies and gentlemen, happy birthday.
Numbers are cartoon numbers. He also pitched until he was like 46.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
When he came into the MLB, the rest of the league was they were kind of they were kind of upset about it because the owner of the Indians at the time, was it Bill Veeck? Was it? No, can't think of it right now. But anyway, he was quite the showman. He was always pulling stunts, and he was being called out for bringing Satchel Paige in. Satchel Paige ended up going 6-1 in that season, just to shut all the naysayers up. 6-1. So, and that was when he was 48, maybe. I'd have to look that up to be sure.
He was also an all-star when he was 45 and 46.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy could just pitch.
And he had this, so maybe some of our younger listeners do not know of Satchel Paige. This guy had the weirdest windup. His leg went straight up, almost at a 100 or a 90-degree perpendicular to the ground, just almost straight up in the air. And then he would come over the top with the ball. He had this weird delivery, and he was very accurate, very accurate. And he threw a bunch of complete games. Let me back in those days. You didn't go like 4 or 5 innings. You were out there for the duration, Jack.
Different game. Yeah. I mean,
Different game, different
when
times.
when
But
starters were starters, right?
Yeah.
They actually played.
No kidding.
They pitched 8-9 innings.
yeah. Anyway, congratulations, Satchel Paige. A happy birthday. Rest well. Rest well, sir. Big George Randy, if you've seen on this date in Big George's sports history, hang on, the spinning beach ball of death here. I'm sorry. That I sent to Jeffrey included some fun facts about Satchel Paige on this date, 1948. I did not see it because Jeffrey didn't send it to me. Mr. Pink, I know Bambi was not one of reindeers for Santa Claus.
I mean,
Yes, heavy metal maniacs. We're going to get to that in a minute. Moist one, no. One that ran over Grandma was not one of Santa's reindeer.
I thought it was.
No.
You sure?
no, it was
Grandma
just,
got run over by a reindeer.
just a random reindeer. Just,
Yeah.
A rogue reindeer?
yeah,
Yeah.
just a, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, we've not placed where Grandma lives. She might live, in Norway, which is, I think is where or Scandinavia, where the reindeer come from. We don't know this. It's not in the song. And everybody gets run over by reindeer, where they're, in Scandinavia or wherever they're from. North Pole reindeer are a highly trained, elite, athletic reindeer that can fly. Other reindeer will just run you over. They don't care.
So they ship them over from Finland and Scandinavia and train them.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're handpicked by Santa Claus. I mean, everybody knows this, Ralph.
I never knew this growing up. I just was never taught the ins and outs of the reindeer
Yeah.
hierarchy.
Sorry that you missed out on that as a child.
That's very educational, though. I appreciate it.
All right. So, here are the breaking news. Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian are they dating? They were seen at that swanky party there that was going on in the New York. Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian apparently were very quote unquote flirty at this party. Michael Rubin's star-studded Hamptons Bash. Super flirty was the report. They also were seen on the beach frolicking. Tom Brady's press person, whoever, what do you recall it, says there's no truth to this rumor whatsoever. An insider claimed the retired NFL quarterback, who's 45 years old, is, quote, exactly Kim's type, end quote.
I wouldn't think so.
What type would that be?
Yeah, that's completely opposite of her type.
Unless her type is just athlete or rapper, in which case, okay, I guess. But like that, I'm hoping there's more depth to the type than just your job. And maybe I'm giving her too much credit, but like that, what could they possibly have in common?
I mean, there's a fun picture here.
Besides being insanely rich.
I don't know who all these people are. There's Tom Brady, and it looks like James Harden. I guess the guy, the small white dude in the front, who's hanging all over these elite athletes, is this Michael Rubin cat with the giant chains on his neck. Tom Brady. They all look like they're hammered. Had too many. Oh, and by the way, breaking news: Kim Kardashian reported that she had 11 shots at the party.
11
in the first hour.
Damn. Down goes another quality guy. Damn.
Well, you can't really be Kardashian cursed if your career's done, right? Like
he has so much to live for. He's only 45.
Yeah, but he's not. I mean, what could possibly happen beyond that? It's not like Kardashian curse.
Well, nothing if you're tied down to Kim Kardashian. I mean, you go into the giant black hole of the Kardashian curse. And I mean that in the space sense, by the way, fourth dimension. I know what you're thinking. Moist one, 11 back shots.
Oh my God. Oh, see, right out of the gate, the moist one.
Moist one, you're aching for 2 minutes in the penalty box. Big George apparently has figured out my email, which is a little scary. I just emailed you on this date in sports history. King of Kittens, we all know that Grandma lives in Sun City and loves a big. No. We're talking about reindeer. There are no reindeer in Sun City. I know. I've been through there several times. And I've had to wait behind all the golf carts. So I've had to spend a lot of time on the roadways. In Sun City, I know there are no reindeer in Sun City.
No live ones, yes.
No, there's plastic ones that they throw out there at Christmas time.
Yes, tons of them.
Moist one says 2 minutes would be the longest I've ever been in a box. Moist one?
I mean, that's like second warning. That's more warning than most people get.
Moist one? 888-368-1580. Can you tell I'm trying to? Hey, Victor Wembanyama is going to finally play tonight, guys.
Yay.
The 7'5" or 3.5 or 2 3/4. We don't know his exact height, but we know he's really large and he's going to play in the summer league for the San Antonio Spurs. What can we expect out of Victor Wembanyama except for a highlight reel tonight? Because it's all going to be him on showcase to show the rest of the league what the Spurs have.
and enjoy it. Because if he looks really good, that's the one game he's playing. they're not going to risk anything else. They're pulling him immediately. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be exciting. I think we can expect to see him sort of try out all of the things that we've seen him do in Europe. But these are NBA guys, and a lot of them are rookies, but a lot of them are also second-year guys, third-year guys, developmental guys. And so there's a little bit of a difference there. You see those guys come back to Summer League year 2, year 3, and they're scoring like 40 points because they've been in the NBA for a year. So he's going up against those guys. And I'm not going to sit here and if he looks really good, start going, Victor Wembanyama, let's go ahead and put him in the Hall of Fame. But it's a bad sign if he doesn't look good. So I'll be keeping an eye out for that stuff. Like I was a little worried about Scoot Henderson the other day. He did not look great.
So is there any chance that he comes out and he does look a little rusty because he's had all the hype? He's been traveling a lot. He really, I don't know if he's had a lot of time to actually settle down and play some basketball. It's been a while since he's played, over in France. So what are you expecting him to come out and just be lights out from the first dribble of the ball?
No, I don't think so. I think there's going to be a little bit of a, getting used to what his role is on the team and what they're going to ask him to do. And there has been a lot of travel and interviews and all this other stuff. So no, I don't think he's going to come out and just look ridiculous. But at the same time, he's going to be bigger than everybody else in Summer League, and he's already a really polished guy. And if he actually can handle the basketball against NBA guys the way that he did in Europe, he could potentially put up a lot of points.
So, Ralph, what are you thinking about Wembanyama? Okay, let's start with question one. What do you think about Wembanyama going to San Antonio? Rigged or not rigged?
I don't think it's rigged. I mean, San Antonio was a bad team, and they got the first pick. I mean, no, it's not rigged. I'm fine. I'm fine with it. What do I think about him? I think I'm really curious to see how he can do against guys that are going to be so much stronger than him. And I think he's going to struggle against that strength. But I also think, what is he, 19, 20 years old? I mean, it's going to take him a few years to put some meat on and go through a program that the Spurs, I'm sure, are going to bulk him up. And once he gets to that point, he'd probably be a lot better player. But I think the hype is too much for that kid year one. I mean, I think he's going to have his moments, but I think he's going to really struggle in the NBA year one. It doesn't mean he's a bad player. I just think he just needs to grow and get bigger and get into a bigger body to compete at that level with those kind of athletes.
These are the best players in the world.
Right.
Yeah. And some of the sturdier guys, to what Ralph was saying, some of the sturdier guys, even in that French league, pushed him around at times. So it's just he's 19 and he's built like a 19-year-old that you stretched out, to 7 feet tall. So he's just going to need time, nutrition program, weight program. And the Spurs, I mean, that's the best organization you can go to for that because of how much money they invest in their sports science.
All right, 888-368-1580, waiting to find out what the Fourth Dimension's got to say about Victor Wembanyama in action tonight. His first Summer League game, which, keep in mind, it's a Summer League game. It's not a regular season game, not a playoff game, not even a preseason game. It's a Summer League game. He's not going to be playing against the regulars on the NBA hardwood tonight. He's going to be playing against, like Keon said, some of the guys trying to earn a spot. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll keep you posted on that. We'll keep talking about it. Also, we'll have to talk about the Diamondbacks.
Let's do that.
Why are you so excited to talk about the Diamondbacks?
We should talk baseball. I like to talk baseball.
All right.
All-Star game coming up. We should talk baseball.
We'll do that. It's around the corner here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Juice Reel, the betting intelligence tool that's making better bettors. Open the App Store and get your hands on Juice Reel. Start betting smarter. Juice, R-E-E-L. Juice Reel. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The Diamondbacks are home tonight in Phoenix as they take on the Pittsburgh Pirates, a 3-game weekend series that will close out the first half of the year. Arizona leading the LA Dodgers by just a half a game on top of the NL West. Zach Gallen will get the start for the Diamondbacks, while the Pirates will go with Rich Hill. Pittsburgh plus a run and a half, minus 128 on the run line. The Diamondbacks minus a run and a half, plus 106. On the run line, Pittsburgh plus 164, the Diamondbacks minus 196, and the over-under tonight in Arizona is 8.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air, in a public place, in front of your kids and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using STEM mosquito repellent is the right way. STEM effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
And now, here are the top 3 things experts recommend you do to survive the summer with a broken AC. 1, breathe very slowly. 2, do not make any sudden moves until help arrives.
Just ignore it.
3, calmly express your disappointment to your husband for neglecting service on your air conditioner.
When they finally get me unstuck from this leather chair, I'm gonna kick your
Summers in Arizona are brutal. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air. From 24/7 emergency service to diagnostic checkups to full replacement, Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. With federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to desertdiamondair.com or call 602-362-4599. That's 602-362-4599. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Ken Barkley here, reminding you to check out You Better You Bet. Why, you ask? Well, because we bring the fun, the insight, and all the wagertainment you need. Plus, hopefully, we win a couple bets along the way, from up-to-the-minute breakdowns of backdoor covers, bad beats, and the cheers and tears that come with them, obviously. Plus, betting analysis from some of the best minds in the sports wagering world. Join myself and Nick Costos and tune into You Better You Bet, weekdays from noon to 3 on Arizona's sports betting station 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Friday, July 7th, as we are heading towards 6 o'clock tonight on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Talking NBA basketball a few moments ago. I'll get to your texts at 888-368-1580 in just a few moments. Last night, a rough night for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks have had a rough go of it here recently. And I was talking to Ralph before we went on the air. Telling when I go about things, I go all in. Well, the Snakes have done that. They've not been swept or shut out all season long until last night by the New York Mets, which is a good ball club. New York Mets is no ball club to sneeze at. They've been underperforming all season long. And quite frankly, it didn't surprise me that the Diamondbacks finally got swept in a series and were shut out. They've been kind of reeling lately. They've been a little dinged up. Zach Gallen's been a little hurt. There's been some injuries on the Diamondbacks they really haven't talked about. And so last night, everything just kind of hit. even though the New York Mets have not been playing good ball. But I mean, Carlos Carrasco went 8 strong innings, gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, 4 Ks to a very good hitting ball club in the Arizona Diamondbacks. And they walked out of here with a series sweep, and they shut out the D-backs 9-0. Main problem with the Diamondbacks, I've been saying all season long, has been their bullpen, and now it's starting to raise its ugly head. Ralph, am I wrong or am I right here?
No, you're right. And I expected to start seeing something like this as they started playing better teams. We started to see what the Diamondbacks really got, and they've lost 6 out of 8, 4 in a row. I mean, so they're starting to feel it a little bit. And it's a little adversity. So we have to see how they can respond to this adversity now. You go through a Major League Baseball season, there are going to be your peaks and valleys. My goodness, right?
Yeah.
Every team's going to go through it. I mean, the Dodgers lost 2 out of 3 to the Royals last weekend, one of the worst teams in baseball.
Right.
That's going to happen. So, the Mets are great on paper. They haven't been playing good this year. They came in and they pretty much took a beating to the Diamondbacks in the last 3 games. So we got to see how they can bounce out of this. They have Pittsburgh now, I think, for the next 3. Pittsburgh is one of those weird teams that's up and down. You got Rich Hill. You're going against Rich Hill tonight. Rich Hill is kind of a weird kind of pitcher to go against. He throws a lot of garbage at you. So we'll see how they do, how Gallen does tonight. But I expected this. I mean, this is adversity. You have to go through it. For the Dodgers, I mean, I'm happy about this because we're virtually tied with them. They've got one more win than us. And if we can get through our injuries and on the second half of the season and really start playing ball, I mean, I think the Dodgers pull away, and I've been expecting that all year long. Anyway, I think the Dodgers win by the division by 10 games. That's just my opinion. And I felt they would catch them by the All-Star break, and they have. So we'll see what happens. But this is a big moment for the Diamondbacks, in my opinion, because this is going to kind of steer your second half of the season. I mean, I think you have to try to get right after the sweep and get back to what you've been doing. And if you can't get there, it could fall off a cliff real quick.
Diamondbacks didn't play particularly well last night. They didn't have any answers for Carlos Carrasco. They looked uncomfortable at the plate. And then you get your guy Corbin Carroll coming up there, who's already you could say what you will about the kid. He has been a warrior going out there and battling this season.
Been great.
He leads, I think, a couple of the rookie categories. He's been stealing bases. He's been hitting the opposite field. He's been hitting with power. He's got extra base hits. The kid's hitting like 290 something. He's just been a real shot in the arm for this team. And in every way, shape, or form, it seems like as Corbin Carroll goes and as Zach Gallen goes, the Diamondbacks go. Well, Zach Gallen has been hurt, and he's going to come in tonight against a team in the Pittsburgh Pirates who I consider a dangerous team, a team that's been reeling. They've been facing some adversity, but they have some young pitching. They have some youngsters on the team that are exciting and filled with enthusiasm. And if we're not careful, I mean, they could look at another sweep here at the hands of Pittsburgh Pirates.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, I think Pittsburgh's going in the same direction the Diamondbacks have, right? They started off hot. I mean, they had a lead in that division. They were tearing it up, and they cooled off tremendously. And they've really been struggling. So I don't see a sweep here. I think this is an interesting series. I'm not sure who's going to win it 2 out of 3. Somebody's going to get 2 out of 3. It's going to be close. But you're right. They're going to go as Gallen go, and they're going to go as Carroll go. Carroll's having a phenomenal year. What a great first half for that rookie. All-star first half, no doubt. So great for him. We'll see. The problem with the guys like that is they get to the second half of a season as in their rookie year, and they typically taper off. So they're going to have to find somebody else to step up as he tapers off because he's going to taper off. It just happens.
Yeah, the Diamondbacks have had timely hitting all season long except in the last 3 games against the Mets.
And I think the good news for the Diamondbacks, honestly, because once I saw Corbin Carroll go out of that game, I was not concerned about winning or losing in that particular moment because, like you said, they go as Corbin Carroll goes, and he's doing all right now. Like it looks like they dodged a bullet, but they're going to have to obviously take care of that shoulder. They're going to ease him in. I don't think that they can really rely on him for the next few weeks as much as they'd like to, because I think that they need him to rest and need him to be 100% for after the All-Star break.
It looked scary to me, and that's the same shoulder that Corbin Carroll had surgery on in 2021.
He tore his labrum in it.
His labrum, and he also tore the. I can't think of it right now. Anyway, so he had some shoulder surgery, and it cost him the entire 2021 season.
Yeah, and it's the second time this season that shoulder has acted up, and he's had to leave the game.
Yeah.
With it.
Well,
So,
in the last time he went out before last night's game, he said his arm went numb. So to me, now I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. That indicates to me some sort of nerve damage he might be dealing with.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. That's the worst. You don't want that.
No, you don't want that because
Yeah.
that's potentially career ending.
Career ending and definitely season ending. So yeah.
And for him to have that arm, and I saw it when it happened, he had that follow through, that one arm follow through, which I'm not a big fan of because it puts so much strain on your shoulders when you do that. You're already torquing that shoulder when you're pulling through the hitting zone with that lead shoulder. I mean, you're loading that shoulder up with everything you have. And then when you go all the way through and you rotate through and you just kind of let it out, then you have nothing left to kind of stop it. It's just kind of free falling back behind you. I don't like that one arm follow through. I mean, I've told my kids and I've told my grandkids, don't do that. Follow through with two hands. And if you can't, drop the bat. Don't let the bat carry your arm all the way back like that. Because you can tear up everything in there.
It's more common though nowadays to see that.
It is. And I still think it's dangerous, especially with the strain these guys are putting on those joints when they're playing in professional baseball. 888-368-1580. This loss last night puts the Diamondbacks only a half game ahead of the Dodgers, who are starting to get hot, ladies and gentlemen. Even though they lost the redheaded crazy man in their bull. What's his name?
Dustin May. That's just a horrible story.
It is it's a terrible story. You hate to see it.
He might be done. That might be his career. We'll see.
The flexor tendon.
It's just the things he's been going through. He may never come back from it. We'll have to see. But it's a shame.
But you have that young arm coming up. I don't have it in front of me.
They've got Sheehan and they got Miller, who are both up and both playing really well.
Miller. He's the pitcher, right? Miller.
Yeah, Sheehan and Miller are both pitchers. They've done a great job, and when they've been needed. So Urias threw yesterday and threw well for the first time now that he's been back. You got Gosselin kind of getting back into it. So, Kershaw is on the DL, but he'll be back. It's just a 15-day. So you're right. The Dodgers are starting to get healthy, and that's bad news for the National League.
888-368-1580. Big George is saying that, Randy, I take the blame for the Diamondbacks' recent struggles. Ever since I went to the game with my wife and 16-month-old son, Luke, on the 4th of July, they've lost. And I knew I shouldn't have gotten my hopes up on this team. Now, George,
it's all your fault, George.
You're still first place in division.
Now,
okay.
It's his fault.
And you're like the team hasn't changed.
No, George.
This is exactly what I knew would happen. The team is 11 games above 500, and Big George is already setting up his arguments for when he's going to be screaming for fire Torey Lovullo, which hasn't happened this entire season so far.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's coming.
George, come on.
It's 162 games, man. Like, I just don't panic yet.
Zach Gallen on the bump tonight against Pittsburgh. We'll see what happens. I still think this team is pretty good.
Yeah.
I've never said I expect this team to win the NL West. I think it's been fun. They've been in first place. They have outplayed any expectations I had for this team. And I think it's been a fun ride. And I hope it continues into the second half. And quite frankly, I hope they make it a season and they chase the Dodgers around. You know what I mean? I hope the Dodgers keep trying to get into first place and the Diamondbacks keep stroking the ball like they have been, and they get some good pitching. They got to do something about that bullpen, man.
Yeah, they need to make some moves before the trade deadline. There's no doubt. So that's going to be the big thing. What do they do?
Exactly.
And if they don't do anything, that's just stupid.
You got to go out and make at least two moves for relief, guys.
You're in a position to make. You don't need to win the division to make the playoffs. You can make the playoffs, and you could do damage in the playoffs, but you have to make moves that give you the guys that can help you.
I agree. I agree. I think that this Diamondbacks team has been sneaky good, and they've been enjoying a lot of success early on. I agree with Ralph 110%. The All-Star break is sort of a reset. The second half of the season generally looks different for every team.
Yep.
And unless you have those teams that are, like I don't anticipate the Rays falling flat on their face in the second half. I don't anticipate the Texas Rangers falling flat on their face in the second half. Now the Pirates, the Reds, teams that we've been hearing about, maybe the Marlins. The Phillies have been getting hot in that division. I mean, Atlanta for right now, for me, Atlanta's a team to beat in the East. But I don't see your normal team. I mean, the Baltimore Orioles.
What?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Like people, there were indications they were going to be good, but this is, I don't know. It's better than I thought they were going to be. And maybe I just don't know anything, but that is, I'm genuinely surprised.
No, everybody's genuinely surprised. I mean, they're playing wow. I mean, no one expected that. And good for them. I hope they keep it up. I like to see them in the
they're
playoffs.
murdering people. I mean, in a pretty tough division, that they're beating teams really bad.
They beat the Yankees by, what was it, 13?
13-0. Like, that's a low-scoring football game. That's
I love that.
just
all
put
right.
it on them.
So we'll talk a little more Diamondbacks when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Would you like to access some of the equity in your home without refinancing? No reason to refinance and lose that great low rate that you have on your current mortgage. Desert Equity Lending can get you the home equity line of credit you've been looking for. It's fast, it's easy, and it may not even require tax returns. That's right. We can use bank statements to qualify you. Most banks require at least 2 years of tax returns and many other supporting documents. When the big banks say no, we say yes. You can have your home equity line in as little as 15 days. We have a simplified process that helps get you a home equity line of credit in half the time using half the documentation that the big banks require. It's never been easier. Call now, 602-509-3000. That's 602-509-3000. Find out just how easy it is to get a home equity line of credit without jumping through all the hoops at a big bank. Call Desert Equity Lending at 602-509-3000. 602-509-3000. Desert Equity Lending MV 0906989 NMLS number NMLS 1733669. Conditions and restrictions apply.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air in a public place in front of your kids and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using STEM mosquito repellent is the right way. STEM effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
Well, Mrs. Grayer, nothing on the x-ray that pinpoints the source of the pain. Let's send you to our lumbar expert.
After reviewing the x-rays, I can't see anything wrong. Let's give you a steroid shot for the pain and send you to the lab for some blood work.
Tired of the runaround? How about trying a new approach? The holistic approach.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
That's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great and frankly kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
Daily Blender for a Friday here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic as we are heading towards 6 o'clock tonight. I'm Randy White over there. Keon Rose, sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. Ralph Romano from Harmon Solar is joining us. The legend, the myth, the magic man. Magic. I kind of like that. The legend, the myth, the magic man.
Definitely magic.
I wonder if Pippi heard me say that. 888-368-1580 is the text line, and you are the fourth dimension texting in. Let's go back to last hour talking about Victor Wembanyama. Mr. Pink Eye says, didn't Lamar Odom OD after retirement? I guess he's talking about
Kardashian.
He's talking about Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian. Apparently, rumored to be allegedly dating.
Well, as long as Tom Brady doesn't have a heroin habit that we're not.
No, I think his is avocado tequila.
Yeah. So as long as that's not the case, I don't think the Kardashian curse is particularly responsible.
Tom
for
is a part owner of the Las Vegas Raiders now. So maybe he's, letting his hair down. Giselle had him, all kind of packaged up for so many years. And his habit was before that was Super Bowl trophy collection. And now, he's letting his hair down. He's cutting loose. He's going to, crazy parties in the Hamptons. Kim Kardashian's there. I mean,
there were a lot of NFL guys there, though.
I mean,
Michael Parsons was there.
Yeah, Tom was wound. He was wound as tight as a damn rubber band for how many years, and now he's footloose and fancy free.
Yeah, but he put in his 20 years of football, of high level football.
I'm just saying. Maybe it's a fling. I don't know. I just can't see him and Kim Kardashian.
There's just so many cameras at any given Kardashian at any given moment. It's never just a fling with one of them. It's just everybody knows.
And why would you want to touch that?
Oh, come on.
There's been all sorts of things on that.
Oh, listen. I understand. I understand the implications here. Yeah.
I mean, I
don't know. Just
you might find things you've never thought about.
Tom's in the entertainment industry now. He's going to be in the Fox booth. Come on.
Of all the women that you could find attractive, though, I mean, it's just no one's saying you got to be Leonardo DiCaprio, okay? But like anybody else,
Kim Kardashian is pretty if you like dating one of those makeup counters. Navy Brad says Brady lost $30 million in a Bitcoin scam. I don't think it was a Bitcoin scam. I think he was paid $30 million in Bitcoin
he invested in it.
Why? See, I didn't know that he invested. I heard he was paid $30 million.
No, he invested,
and he lost that because of what happened.
I don't know if he was paid first or whatever, but he genuinely believed in the crypto stuff, and FTX in particular. A lot of people thought that was a top-notch, cryptocurrency, and then it turned out that the guy that was running it had no clue what he was doing.
Yeah.
And was lying to everyone about it, and so that's one reason why it just imploded on itself.
But Tom may have lost the $30 million in Bitcoin.
That's nothing.
But he's got like what, 360 million.
I was going to say
reasons why he's going to be okay.
Not even 1 year salary.
But that's still a lot of money to have. And then Giselle lost some too because she also invested separately her own money,
18 million or something. Yeah. Moist One says Victor Wembanyama's security is already in mid-season form. Yeah, talking about Victor Wembanyama and his chance meeting with the great Britney Spears.
The great.
the legend. The once upon a.
The psychotic Britney Spears, yeah.
No criminal charges have been filed in that face slapping incident.
She slapped herself. I mean, so.
Damn. Brittany just can't get a break. Big George says, shut it, Ralph. The Dodgers are not winning this division by 10 games. Take your Dodger talk to LA Sports Talk Radio and off fine Phoenix radio airwaves.
Write it down, George. It's happening.
Is this George who just mere moments ago was taking the blame for a losing streak that's only 4 games long?
Yeah, well,
right. It's your fault. So you need to be quiet, George. You're the one that did this.
Yeah. Big George also says Kim Kardashian's type is simple. Number 1, does he have a heartbeat? Number 2, is he well endowed? Tom Brady appears to check both those boxes. My question to Big George is, How do you know how well endowed Tom Brady is, Big George?
How do you know this? This is interesting.
He's going to say from underwear commercials. Watch.
Has Tom done underwears commercials? He did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything. I mean,
you get a sock. It's not hard.
Kiss the Cook says, no, Tom, no. Not even tomato juice can wash that stank off.
Wow.
Jeez, man.
Wow.
I'm sure she showers. Jeez.
Well, it's what does she shower in? Wow.
Lost Toby, 13-0 is a high-scoring Broncos game. Yes, indeed it is.
That's funny. That's messed up.
The Berg is sending us a current view of Alcatraz. Thank you, Berg. Are you being sent there? What the hell's going on, Berg?
Is that from the homeless encampment or?
I mean, it looks like an overcast day in San Francisco. When is it not an overcast day in San Francisco?
Exactly.
Chief Skull says, Rudolph. No, Chief Skull. I thought we discussed this already. And then he goes on to say, I like Ralph. I just hate all of his teams.
Okay. It's a complete package.
That's a fair thing, though.
Yeah, it's fair.
And then he goes on to say, when it comes to Kim Kardashian, just poof it. Poof. You know that's spray stank killer. Have you seen that on the TV?
I haven't.
Poof. This guy needs to get off the caffeinated coffee. Is selling this this poof odor eliminator. You spray the stank away. Could be on your pets. Could be on you. Could be on Kim Kardashian. Could be you just poof it. See what I'm saying? Just poof it. Thank you, Chief School. Lost Toby, the Dodgers aren't winning this division by any games.
Okay.
Thank you, Lost Toby. Mr. Wilbur, we don't need Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg to do a cage match, but rather I'd pay good money to see Big George and Ralph go at it for 3 rounds.
I'd do it.
It'd probably be more an entertaining fight. I mean, Big George is 7 feet tall, so that can't be too fun.
But means I hit him low. That's no big deal.
Yeah. Blissful Hayes. Good afternoon, Blender and Fourth Dimension. Happy National Dive Bar Day. My favorite dive bar of all time is Swanee's Office in Macomb, Illinois. Swanee's Office in Macomb, Illinois. Shout out to Swanee's in Macomb, Illinois. Thank you very much.
Well, all right.
Blissful Hayes. Last Optimist wants to set the story straight on Tom and his ex. They were paid in FTX tokens for their endorsement of FTX. He didn't immediately withdraw as he believed in crypto, and now FTX has been revealed as a Ponzi scheme. There you go. The story, according to the Last Optimist.
I think they had to take the name off of the Miami Heat Arena because it was FTX Arena, and then there was no FTX halfway through the season.
Lost Toby says, Dopey. No. Dwarf, not reindeer.
Oh, my God.
Mr. Wilbur says, let me interpret some trash talking on the part of Ralph. Ralph would say to Big George, I'm going to turn you into a soprano. Big George, ironically. I think the weirdest thing about Britney Spears and Victor Wembanyama was that during the encounter, Britney Spears was speaking in a British accent. That woman needs to be put back into the conservatorship. Damn, was she really? Oh, pardon me,
I didn't
Victor.
catch that, but,
pardon me, would you pass a Grey Poupon, Victor? Oh, Victor, darling. Is that somehow confirmed? Britney was speaking in.
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that, and I saw the video, but I didn't have the sound on because I didn't feel like I needed the sound on.
Triple 8-368-1580.
Pretty clear what went down.
So in last night's game, the Diamondbacks in the seventh inning, Francisco Alvarez was hit by Jose Reese in the wrist. And then what happened next was there was this awkward stare between Alvarez and Reese. And Reese the whole time kept putting his hands up like, no intention here. It just got away from me, I'm in a really bad bullpen. It's not my fault. I'm sorry. And there was no, nothing that happened. But the media, everybody wants to blow this into a benches clearing brawl. Well, okay, the bench is emptied out because the umpire got between Alvarez and Reese. But the whole time, Reese was going, my bad, ball just got away from me. So according to SNY, they did a whole thing on this. They did a whole piece on this. Because I guess Alvarez, it really had worn the Diamondbacks out in this series. But he was saying that Alvarez was saying through an interpreter he didn't say anything. He looked at the pitcher. The pitcher was looking at him. He didn't feel like it was on purpose. He came walking up to me and said, "My bad. Scenario didn't call for a warning by the officials." The Diamondbacks weren't looking to make an example out of Alvarez. This was not a intentional pitch. I mean, Ralph, you know what an intentional pitch is. First of all, you're not going to try to hit a guy in the wrist.
No.
It's going to be in the butt or in the back. It's not going to be in the wrist.
Right.
Okay. And you don't headhunt unless you're trying to send a message and you throw chin music, but you don't go throwing at the guy's head. Those are just things that are off limits. You might go high and in, but you don't go at a guy's head ever.
Agreed. I mean, no one's going to try to hit someone's wrist, and you are going to go inside and try to control the plate and say, "Hey, that's my plate." If you're a pitcher, anyway, that's what you're going to do. And sometimes the ball gets away from you again. It just happens. I mean, it's you put too much pressure on one finger, whatever, it's going to get away from you. So I don't think that was intentional. It's not intentional. It's part of the game. I mean, if you want to go after him, if they had a thing going on, like you said, you're going to go at his back. I mean, you're going to try to spin him. You might give him a little bit of chin music. You're not even going to really go at his head unless there's something totally different going on.
Oh yeah, you would. I mean, you would never go after a guy's head ever.
Right.
That's just like sliding into second base.
That's
going
taboo.
after. You don't go after the guy's ankles or knees at second base when you're sliding in. You just don't do that.
No, you definitely don't. But yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just part of the game. I mean, it happens. Balls get away.
So Buck Showalter, the manager of the Mets, says he didn't think so. He said, "I hope not." Alvy was trying to go to first base at a slow pace. He kind of reinforced the fact that, hey, it hurts to get hit in the wrist by a pitched baseball. I mean, the baseball's not soft. It hurts. It does hurt. Francisco Lindor jumped in on this, and he says he didn't believe it was intentional. He will stick up for his teammate, but he didn't feel like it was intentional. This whole thing is kind of poo. I guess these guys at SNY needed something to write about. I mean, why are you writing something about cleared, a bench clearing in Arizona after the hit by pitch?
Nothing gets a click for, dog days of summer baseball like benches clearing brawl. I'm not going to lie. If I'm scrolling on a news site and I see benches clearing brawl, I click on it every single time.
Yeah.
And then, most of the time it turns out to be nothing like this time. But that's why they put it in there. That's why they do it.
I wish I had that story in front of me that George tweeted out. I saw that on Twitter today. That number 2 ranked rookie in the Cleveland organization. Well, he went after the catcher, the Clippers versus the Sounds in AAA ball. He went after that catcher like that catcher had somehow insulted his mom. You know what I mean? Now that was a benches clearing brawl.
Maybe he did.
All right.
Who knows what he said?
The catcher said something, and that kid turned around and started yelling at him. And then it was on like Donkey Kong from there.
I mean, there's a lot of S-talking in baseball. There's no doubt about
absolutely.
it. Tons of it. So, stuff
a
happens.
lot of chippiness going on in baseball. I mean, what else do you have to do except, seed, spit, and talk crap?
Yeah. It's a game.
All right. So 1 hour is in the books here on this Friday. When we come back, we got some college football to talk about. U of A has landed a 5-star recruit. That's going to be interesting to talk about. And some other things, too, like the new 24 and 25 Big Ten schedule for UCLA and USC. And we'll give that a whirl. And that's when we come back here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's the middle of summer when your AC stops working and your safe haven becomes unforgiving terrain.
Why must get to water, honey? Call someone to fix our AC unit.
I did, and they're already here.
How long was they out?
Summers in Arizona are brutal. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air. From 24/7 emergency service to diagnostic checkups to full replacement, Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. And with federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to desertdiamondair.com or call 602-362-4599. That's 602-362-4599. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone today.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Greg Clark Automotive trains certified technicians located on the southwest corner of Bethany Home and 19th Avenue, servicing Valley automobiles 44 summers now, offering our summer cooling system inspection diagnosis on the belts, water pump, radiator, and hoses. Every air conditioning service includes a dye injection to find leaks. Contact us today at 602-246-2881. And online at gregclarkautomotive.com. Mention 1580 and get 10% off of labor.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to hour 2 of a Friday edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, as we are broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale. My name is Randy White. Right over there, that's the sexiest man in sports talk radio. That's Keon Rose. Next to him, the man, the myth, the magic man. Ralph Romano from Harmon Solar has joined us. Jeffrey O'Brien is out today. Yeah, last hour we talked about the Diamondbacks. Listen, at least they went about it well. They hadn't been shut out. They had not been swept in a series all season long. They took care of both those categories yesterday as they lost 9-0 to the Mets, both being shut out and swept for the first time this season. And listen, I don't blame the Diamondbacks 100% for this. They've had some rough patches. They weren't hitting the ball particularly well. One of the leaders on their team, Corbin Carroll, goes out with a shoulder injury. We don't know any more on that, at least not at time we went on the air today. I keep watching. Keon, let me know if you see anything. So far, haven't heard anything. Hoping it's not going to be season ending. The way he was holding it, though, guys. I mean, Ralph, you know.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
Yeah, Keon, you know. I mean, he wasn't using his arm when he went off the field.
He was holding it with his other arm.
Yeah.
And I did read that he is going to undergo an MRI, so they're going to look and make sure that there's nothing structural there, which honestly, and you and Jeffrey said this when he hurt his shoulder the first time, they should have done it the first time. They should have gone and done it. They didn't. The trainers basically kind of poked around and they were like, okay, he says he's fine and nothing feels out of place. So they went ahead and ran him back out there. And so now a couple of weeks later, here we are again, but now they're going to do the MRI.
Well, I mean, I would hope, that they would be taking into consideration how the player is feeling, how Corbin is feeling, what kind of information is he feeding back to them? They're monitoring. Is there any swelling in the joint? You know, athletic trainers are enormously trained people when it comes to the human anatomy.
The problem is you can't solely rely on the player, especially a young kid like that.
Oh, of course. Right.
Yeah, and unfortunately, that kid was probably not giving him all the information he should have given them. And you're right. They should have done an MRI. And now it's a shame because he's probably going to miss the All-Star game, which he deservedly should be there.
He definitely is going to miss it.
He's going to miss that. He's probably not going to play again until, who knows, you might see him maybe in August, hopefully. But I mean, he needs to rest and he needs to get that right before he goes back at it, or he's going to be season ending.
I agree with you. They should have done an MRI straight away, especially if it's an injury of a shoulder that's already had surgery.
Yep.
I don't know why they didn't take risks, but anyway, we haven't heard any more about Corbin Carroll. Diamondbacks open up a series tonight. Zach Gallen on the hill after a layoff. He'll be on the hill tonight against Pittsburgh. That's at Bank One Ballpark, downtown Phoenix. And I know it's Chase Field. I refuse to call it Chase Field. I just refuse to. You are the fourth dimension texting in at 888-368-1580. Elzar of the Mountain says, Tom Brady could do a hell of a lot better than that. Remember how Kim became famous? You mean the show?
Well, there was a movie that happened before the show.
Little movie,
pretty explicit. And
is that how the Kardashians got on the scene?
Well, that's how Kim got on the scene. Yeah.
Kim did.
So I'm still confused and baffled at how the damn Kardashians got to be so famous. Anyway, Chiefs Gold wants me to never pretend to be English ever again, ever, please. Thank you, Chiefs Gold.
There have been worse British accents. I mean, we've all seen Mary Poppins. Okay. Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins. That was not good.
Breaking news. I don't know if this is really breaking news. So maybe Keon, you can. I have too many windows open on my computer here. Maybe you could check this for me. D-backs infielder Geraldo Perdomo has been named a National League All-Star, replacing Cubs shortstop Dansby Swanson. We're going to look into that right away, Big George. Not that I don't believe you. I have to confirm the news. Everyone knows I'm a integrous journalist. And I can call myself a journalist because Jeffrey's not here today.
That is confirmed.
All right, confirmed that. So that's, ladies and gentlemen, breaking news.
Newsflash. This is breaking news.
Big George reporting that the Arizona Diamondbacks infielder Geraldo Perdomo has been named a National League All-Star, replacing injured Chicago Cubs shortstop and former D-backs prospect Dansby Swanson. And might I add, Dansby Swanson, World Series champion with the Atlanta Braves last season. Was he on the Diamondbacks? Hell no, he wasn't. He was traded away.
What else is new?
I mean, every time I hear Dansby Swanson or Max Scherzer, I get this red glow over my eyes, and Miss Kim has to she has to calm me down. Former Cy Young Award winner and world champion, Max Scherzer. See what I mean?
Yeah, that one's got to hurt.
Yeah. Oh, no, his body will never stand up to the major leagues. That's what our scouting department said here. You idiots. Lost Toby. He was aiming at his back, but he missed because bullpen no bueno. So you're saying that he was trying to throw one to plunk him, and he missed, and he hit him in the wrists? No.
Come on, man.
No.
Pretty bad miss.
All right, the D-backs bullpen is bad, but I mean,
that's really bad.
Come on, man. Bruno Baller asking the question, wasn't Buck Showalter the first manager of the D-backs? You are correct. He was named the first manager of the Diamondbacks in 1997 before their first season. He was the guy that assembled the first team. He was the guy that watched them lose 100 games the first season. You're exactly right. He was the one that liked the white hats that everybody hated because they looked like good humor men out on the field. The damn white hats. Get rid of them, Buck. But he liked them. Buck Showalter, also an aficionado of every Andy Griffith episode ever. He could quote it. He can quote it chapter and verse. He knows every one of them.
At least he was good at something.
Cheesehead Bill says, Bambi's mom, prove me wrong, could have been a reindeer. No. No.
They were just regular deer.
Yeah, just deer, man.
Yeah.
Boomer Sooner says, Lavello. No, not one of the reindeer. And he says, blood pressure, Andy. Okay. Thunder, the Santa Barbarian. Happy Friday, Blender Boys. Knock, knock. Hey, Ralph. Who's half a game back in the NL West today?
Yep. Probably half game up by tomorrow.
Raven Kid, Perdomo over Lindor. I'm sick. Need to get their D back in the game, I guess. Well, that is, isn't that one of the, Ralph, help me, because I'm pretty sure that's one of the rules of the All-Star game. Every team must be represented, right?
Yes, that is a rule. Every team must have one player, which a lot of people are trying to change. They say that rule is not a good rule.
Well, then you'd never see some teams ever.
Yeah, I mean, it would,
you'd never see an Oakland A. You never see a Kansas City Royal.
It'd be hard. I mean, those bad teams could have
tough,
a good
yeah.
player, but yeah, I mean, you're right. So, but a lot of people do not like that rule. I like the rule. I think everybody should be represented.
No Rockies would ever be in the game. I mean, they're just perpetually last place teams.
It'd be bad if you had a team hosting this All-Star game and nobody on their team was there. I mean,
that would be bad.
Yeah, that'd be very bad.
Hefty Lefty says Swanson is also the husband of U.S. women's national team member Mallory Swanson, parentheses, Pew. They're going to make some athletic babies. You know what? This is a family show, Hefty Lefty. You just keep your filth off of here, okay? Filthy filth. Lost Toby, imagine if the D-backs kept Goldie. Yeah, they would be really poor, and Goldie wouldn't help us out at all.
Not anymore.
I mean, I love Paul Goldschmidt. Don't get me wrong. I love his work ethic. I love the way he goes about his business. I love the fact that the guy, he finally got some notoriety with the St. Louis Cardinals. I mean, don't get me wrong here. Don't hate me for it to mention. But, listen, to keep Goldie around here, it's kind of like you guys that want to hang on to Cam and the other guy from the Suns. I mean, let it go. Just let it go. It's over. It's done with. If they would have kept Goldie, this team was not spending money like this back then. This team was going in a completely different direction. They were going on a value menu. They were not going to do anything where they had to pay an exorbitant amount of money to keep people. I mean, the head scratchers to me are, Max Scherzer. Of course, I guess nobody could really see that. But I mean, when you have a scout or a scouting department that says Max Scherzer is not going to last as an MLB guy, and then here he is today, a surefire Hall of Famer, a guy that's won the World Series and the Cy Young, a guy that is a difference maker when he goes out there, even though he's old and starting to get tired. I mean, and you let him go?
And as close to a horse as we have in modern baseball.
I mean, gee whiz, that would be like saying Randy Johnson's not going to amount to anything.
It just shows you how imperfect science the scouts have that they use. I mean, they don't know who's going to do what. They can see talent, but they have no idea how that's going to translate because sometimes it just doesn't. Like a Billy Beane. Billy Beane was one of the top guys out of high school. I mean, should have been an all-star legend, and he was terrible.
He was horrible at the MLB level.
You just don't know. Randy Johnson was terrible when he first started out with the Expos. I mean, he was horrendous.
Oh, he was so wild.
But he got it fine-tuned when he went to Seattle and became what he was. I mean, so yeah. I mean, you have to never know. You just don't.
The Raven kid wants to know, is Gallen not in the game already, though? I don't know what you mean. Is he not in the All-Star game? Is he not in tonight's game?
So he's saying, wouldn't Zach Gallen count as the Diamondback? So even
if
I
see what you're saying.
There,
yeah.
Then you wouldn't need to force
listen,
Perdomo because
I don't know,
you already had Zach Gallen.
I don't know why Perdomo was announced as the replacement for Dansby Swanson. I don't know. It wasn't my fault, Raven kid. And I don't have the information on why he was taking over Lindor. I don't know. Maybe his numbers are better than Lindor this year. I don't know. And don't come at me, bro, with all your stats because I don't have any. Big George has got Buck Showalter in the original Diamondback jersey, which I have, by the way. The original Diamondback jersey. Lost Toby says Kurt Schilling was also a bad trade. It was a bad trade.
What are you talking about?
He got us a World Series.
You rented him for a year or whatever it was, and you got
so
your
his
World
2 years, and he paid off dividends for us.
Him and Johnson were great moves.
I mean, you could say whatever you want about his politics, but as far as a baseball, that was a great trade.
Yep.
Hefty Lefty, what's more family oriented than expanding a family through the miracle of the stork bringing a baby to your front door? It's not the way it happens, Hefty Lefty, and you know it. Getting on here with your X-rated texts. I mean, I'm sorry, Keon and Ralph, you had to hear that.
I'm used to it.
Heavy Metal Maniacs, they should have replaced the guy with Ketel Marte on the All-Star team. He deserves it more than the other guy that got it from the Diamondbacks. The other guy, Ketel Marte, is a second baseman and an outfielder. He's not a shortstop.
And Perdomo's having a decent year. He's hitting 274. I mean, he's nothing outstanding, but it's a good year.
Raven Kid, last thing I'll say, well, I hope not. Lindor's numbers were better than Swanson's in the first place. It is what it is, though. Gallen for Cy Young either way. Well, I mean, I would agree. I would agree at this point in the season. Let's see what happens in the second half. I would agree with you as far as Gallen for Cy Young, but there's still a hell of a long road to take, and it's going to be interesting to see how these Diamondbacks fare down the stretch here. And as far as Lindor for Swanson, I don't know. Maybe Perdomo got more votes than Lindor. I don't know. I don't know how they work this thing. I don't know. Maybe they do it with like ping pong balls that they draw secretly in a back room so they can hand out the next guy's, the replacement. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know about Gallen for Cy Young. I mean, yeah, he's having a good year, but I'll take Spencer Strider over him personally. I think that kid's phenomenal.
Lost Toby, I meant trading him away. Okay. All right. I agree with you. Yeah. But they couldn't hang on to him, and they were hemorrhaging money. They had to make some moves. Bruno Baller, was Bob Brenly the manager of the Diamondbacks when they won the World Series? Yes, he was. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Ralph, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that was the next season after Buck got fired. I think Brenly came in and they went to the World Series and won it the next season.
Oh, I'd have to look. I don't remember that.
So Buck got canned and they brought in Brenly. It was either the next year or the year after. It was very close to when Buck was sent on his way. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff to get to here. U of A has got a 5-star recruit that they have landed. And I don't know. This might be the first time in Arizona history, University of Arizona history. And we'll start talking about it. We got a break coming up here, but they received a commitment on Thursday from a 5-star edge rusher, Elijah Rushing, marking arguably the biggest recruiting win in program history. Rushing, who's ranked number 8 in the 24/7 sports rankings, is the first 5-star the Wildcats have landed in the star system era. Bumps up the program from 50th to 41st in the 2024 24/7 sports class rankings, which I guess is an honor.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the one guy basically pulled up your entire recruiting ranking because that's how good he is.
So this kid Rushing plays high school football at South Point, which is just a mile or two away from U of A. And I guess he has a brother that's going to join him on the team. I guess he transferred, and he came. He's coming in from Florida. So the brothers Rushing will be playing together with the Arizona Wildcats in this upcoming season. What are your thoughts, Keon?
I mean, it's big for you, Arizona. It's huge to be able to build their program the way that they have, and it proves that Jedd Fisch is serious about making that a competitive football program down there in Tucson.
Yeah.
He is not playing around, and I think that all of his efforts to slowly rebuild the reputation of that program little by little has worked. To now you can actually get a 5-star to want to play there. And it's huge also because one of the big things about recruiting inside of your state, especially a state like Arizona, that is becoming a better and better football state all the time at the high school level, you want to lock down the state. That if you're a state school, you Arizona, you're ASU, that's your whole fight is you got to keep these guys in Arizona. The guys that play here have to stay here. They can't go to USC. They can't go to Florida. They can't go to Bama. They've got to stay here. So
Can't go to Texas. Can't go to Texas.
Right.
Yeah.
And so to have a guy that's like you said, a mile or two away from the school, go to that program and join up, that means that they're serious about keeping the talent in the state.
So this kid says that he wanted to stay close to home, and he turned down offers from Notre Dame, Oregon, and Tennessee, among others, for his services. You believe him? I mean, staying close to home, I believe, but
yeah, I mean, and it's a thing that a lot of players want. I mean, I think that sometimes you just want your parents to be able to see you, depending on what your family's financial situation is. If you go to Tennessee, they're not going to see your games. You know, you go to Notre Dame, you're in Indiana, like they may not get to see you anywhere but on TV. You at least got all of those home games that they're going to see you.
They come out to USC, they play the Trojans.
Yeah. I mean, like some of these bigger games that you'll be able to go to, and especially, you know, if you're in the West, going to the West Coast is going to be easier than going all the way out East, you know, and it's that I think that's helping, you know, and I feel really, you know, kind of sick about ASU because for ASU, they're behind in their rebuild. So their opportunity to get players like this is hampered just that much by the fact that they stuck with Herm Edwards about a year longer than they should have.
Oh, easily. Your Wildcats have gone through a full rebuild under Jedd Fisch. You were just talking about. They have brought in other high end recruits. As a matter of fact, they landed a former 5-star linebacker Justin Flo from Oregon and Colorado wide receiver Montana Lamonius Craig via the transfer portal.
What a
which
name.
Is well, I mean,
what a name.
I mean, it's Colorado, so Coach Prime probably didn't want Montana Lamonius Craig on his team for some reason. I think if you have Montana Lamonius Craig on your team, you're like a better team because of it.
Just because he's there,
right?
He doesn't have to play.
I'm just saying,
just having him on the roster.
But we've got Montana Lamonius Craig on our team, Jack. You know what I mean? People are going, wait, what? How did they get him? I'm just saying. So we've got a lot of college football to talk about. We're up against a break. As a matter of fact, I'm very late here. We'll give you more information on this a big recruiting coup for the U of A Wildcats and a lot more. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air in a public place in front of your kids and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using STEM mosquito repellent is the right way. STEM effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
Hello, everyone. Desert Equity Lending is back again with a mortgage product that we have all been waiting for. We are excited to offer once again the no document loan that we all remember from years ago. That's right. It's a true no document loan. Remember when stated income loans were available? They were the most popular mortgages available for self-employed, as well as for those borrowers that couldn't quite show enough income to qualify using regular underwriting guidelines. This new no doc loan is changing the way people get approved for a mortgage. Listen to this. No income, no problem. No tax returns, no problem. It doesn't take perfect credit to qualify either. If you have a good down payment and decent credit, you need to call now. These mortgages are being approved for primary residence as well as a second home. We are doing it the old-fashioned way. We use common sense underwriting to approve what other banks walk away from. Call 602-509-3000 to talk with a real person that can get you answers in hours, not days. That's 602-509-3000. Make the call. You will be glad you did. Desert Equity Lending. Desert Equity Lending, MB 0906989, NMLS 1733369. Conditions and restrictions apply.
This isn't a game of touch in the backyard.
I tore his ass up.
This isn't tossing around the ball with your friends. And it sure as hell isn't flag football.
This is the NFL. Hard-hitting, pad-smacking, body-busting football.
We've got all the primetime games in one place.
On your home for the NFL, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Don't forget, for it to mention, Christmas in July with Kasai. You can win a $50 gift card from Kasai Japanese Steakhouse when you listen daily to the Daily Blender. Each hour, give the name of one of Santa's reindeer. Won't be announced all fancy. We're not going to have like a fanfare. Here's today's reindeer name of the day. We're not going to do that. The reindeer name will be worked into normal conversation, so you'll have to be listening. Got to be paying attention. It may never dawn on you how we use this reindeer name, in daily conversation. It may never dawn on you.
Clever.
However, we will talk a little blitzing next hour in NFL. See what I'm saying? Did you guys catch that? I just gave you 2 reindeer names just right there. Once you hear the name, text in that name to be entered into the daily drawing for a $50 gift card. Also, keep track of all the names given during the week and text them all in on Friday for a chance to win an additional $50. That's $100 total to Kasai for their Christmas in July with Kasai promotion going on here. It's happening starting next week here on the Daily Blender. 888-368-1580. Cardinal Art Donner. No, next week. So you've come in here with like Donner. You've come in here with Prancer. You've come in here with Lavello. No. I'm sorry, Boomer Sooner. No. I'm sorry, Cardinal Art. No. Boomer Sooner says, Ralph, speak up or get closer to the mic. You know what? Ralph's a very soft spoken. He's one of those guys. You speak softly, carry a big stick.
Yeah, I don't think so.
See what I mean? The Erectinator, sup Randy, sup Keon. Hey, Ralph, you're one of a kind in the sense you would be the first person to warrant an unwanted poster.
I think I'd be okay with that.
Unwanted?
Yeah.
I'm unwanted. Unwanted. Dead or alive.
That's a compliment. So thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Moist one says Ralph loves those big thighs of Strider's.
Strider, yeah, he's a stud. He's best pitcher in the league right now.
Hefty lefty. Brinley just ruining expectations for every manager after him. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Big George, this news out of U of A just angers me because it exhibits how bad Herm Edwards set back ASU football to where U of A is out recruiting by ASU by leaps and bounds. ASU be behind U of A for years to come, and all because of the ineptitude of Ray Anderson, the worst AD in ASU history. Hold on, Big George.
Wow. And also, that's not how recruiting works. You
Hold
don't,
on there.
You don't fall behind, for a few seasons and all of a sudden you're done for years. That is simply just not how this is going to happen. Especially not with the transfer portal now. Like, there's just no reason to think that that's going to be what happens, especially also with how good a recruiter we know Kenny Dillingham is. We'll see how good of a coach he is now that he's got the job as being the head coach. But as far as getting human beings into his program that have a lot of talent, oh, that dude's never struggled there.
I mean, this Dillingham, this is his thing. Not only is he an ASU alum, but the guy's excited to get out there and recruit and bring in a lot of people.
And I have been able to learn more about the high school football in the area from the AIA show that we have on Saturday mornings. And Dillingham's at a lot of these high school games. He shows up, Fridays, and he's looking around and he's trying to make contacts and talk to athletes and really get the talent that's here in not just Arizona, but specifically Phoenix, to stick around and go to that program. So I'm going to at least have faith in his ability to recruit, because he did it at Oregon, he did it at Auburn, and he did it at a high level.
His problem is he's only grabbing 3-star recruits right now. That's where his struggle is.
But so was Jed Fish when he was starting at U Arizona.
Yeah, and now Jed Fish has 1.4, 1.5. Everything else is a 3, and that's what makes the difference. Is just getting that 1.4 or that 1.5. I mean, that's how you start it. So
yeah.
Well, the thing that I like to see about ASU and Dillingham, I mean, if you go down the recruits for ASU, a bunch of 3-star guys. There's 1 4-star guy. But you go down here, you're seeing a lot of guys from Arizona. You're seeing guys from Texas, Marshall, Texas, Tatum, Texas, Waxahachie, Texas. You're seeing guys from Arizona, Scottsdale, Chandler. You're seeing guys here that you didn't see under Herm Edwards. It's not Herm Edwards would go after those junior college transfer guys from California. I mean, Dillingham's not doing that. So, and there's a lot of transfer portal guys that are coming in. Some of them from Oregon, which is where he just came from. Some from Colorado. Jordan Tyson just got here. He's a wide receiver, 6'1", 180. He's committed. He's coming from the University of Colorado. There's guys coming in from Oregon, University of Mississippi. There's a guy, Xavion Alford, who's a safety. He's in the transfer portal. He came from USC. So it's not like Dillingham's he's not sitting back on his laurels.
And for the 2024 recruiting class, they're 4th in the Pac-12. So it's not like under Herm where they were either dead last or next to dead last every single cycle. He's out there recruiting. He's out there trying to, boost the profile of the program, which is how you have to start. So at least it shows that he knows how to begin this thing. And then obviously you've got to go out there and win some games.
Yeah.
And this year could be a rough year just because the schedule is really tough. But you go out, you shock some people if you can get a couple of upsets in there and then win the games against the programs that you're capable of beating. You're going to get this thing started. But look how bad Jeff Fish's start was at U Arizona.
Oh, yeah.
And if you would have buried him after year 1, you wouldn't be where you are now.
Yeah, he's
with
had
that
three.
program.
He's had 3 years in the position. Dillingham's only had 1, not even. This is his first year. This was his first recruiting class. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
He came in part way through the recruiting cycle.
Right.
They'd already gone through the early national signing day. He missed that. So
it'll be interesting to see how SC and UCLA leaving the pack, how that impacts Phoenix players or Arizona players wanting to go there. Because SC right now comes into Phoenix and they steal 2-3 top guys every year. So it's going to be interesting to see if those guys are going to still want to go to SC, knowing that they're going to be playing and traveling so much.
Quite honestly, ASU and U of A, they don't have the kind of reputation that an Oregon or a USC or a UCLA have, or a Washington even. They have this kind of you start strong and then you just kind of fall off towards the end of the season and you don't end up anywhere. Maybe the Sun Bowl, maybe. ASU's gone to the Rose Bowl twice. U of A's never gone to the Rose Bowl. USC, how many times they gone to the Rose Bowl?
Too many.
More times than even USC.
I can't even count.
How many times has UCLA gone to the Rose Bowl?
Yeah, too many.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they lived there.
Yeah, they've dominated.
So there's got to be some tradition built up here, and I think that Dillingham is going to do a good job. I think he's the right man for the job, and quite honestly, I'm sort of impressed about the way he has approached this job. Following a guy that is that has kind of screwed up the whole system.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that about Herm. I mean, I like Herm, but he screwed up the system. Raven Kid says, not disrespecting Spencer Strider at all, Ralph, just showing love to a player in the Valley since I've got a reputation that I apparently just hate Valley teams. Well, Raven Kid, you don't just hate Valley teams. You're what's great about sports. You're a sports fan. I mean, in my opinion, you're a guy that just loves sports.
Yeah, I mean, you love the wrong teams, especially your football team.
Well, I mean, they're
but you
questionable.
love sports, so
Hey,
it's
they're
good.
questionable, But you love sports, and you're a student of sports. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
All right. So Bruno Baller says that reindeer game's going to be fun next week. Yeah, it is. It never dawned on me how you would like that, Bruno Baller. You see what I mean? See what I just did there? I just threw another one in.
Incognito.
888-368-1580. So, guys, I don't know what to make of this. Pat Fitzgerald, head football coach, Northwestern. He's been suspended 2 weeks as the school wraps up an investigation into some allegations about hazing. Maggie Hickey, who's an Illinois inspector general, found evidence to corroborate claims made by an anonymous whistleblower that there were hazing activities and events. And he was talking about in the locker room, and it may have started as far back as Camp Kenosha in Wisconsin. They didn't find sufficient evidence to believe that the coaching staff knew about the ongoing hazing conduct, but they determined, however, that there had been significant opportunities to discover what was going on.
Makes sense to me. If you're going to say that the head coach is the guy that's the CEO of the program, and they get paid like it. Like if you just look at the highest paid public officials in most states, it's the head football coach or head basketball coach of the major university in that state. So if you're going to get paid that money, you better know what the hell's going on in your program. Like, I don't think that's unfair to ask.
I don't know in this instance. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. Ralph, what do you have to say?
I mean, so having a college athlete as a son, there is hazing that goes on in every program out there. Now, the coaches quote unquote don't really know about it, which is a bunch of BS.
Right.
They all know about it, but they all run it to a way where the coaches aren't around when it happens, and it's accepted. I mean, it happens at every program.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just reality. I mean, that's what happens in college sports. It's part of it. As long as they're not going overboard and doing something that can kill somebody or hurt badly somebody, I think you just turn the other way and you don't think about it. It's just part of what it is. I mean, it's just college sports.
I agree. The thing is, I don't know if this went too far. Like, there's not a whole lot of details specifically about what was involved in the hazing, because there is a line and you can go too far. And I don't know if in this situation somebody crossed that line and then you had somebody basically report it and go, look, man, like somebody had to stop this. I think that if you turn the other way and turn the blind eye, it's with the knowledge that, okay, if I catch wind that this is going in a different direction than just your standard, locker room hazing, that I've got to step in and, okay, guys, you can't do that. You can't go there, not at this program. But without that information, I have no way of knowing. Now, I don't think that the school thought it was that crazy because they suspended him for 2 weeks. They didn't fire him.
Right.
If they really thought that this was something that was insane, he wouldn't have a job.
The investigation, they determined that there had been significant opportunities to discover and report the hazing conduct.
For the coach, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, of course he's not going to report it because him and the captains of the team were the ones talking about it before it happened. I mean, that's how it works. And they understand that, like Keon said, there's a line that they don't cross, and he trusts the captains of that team to make sure that doesn't happen.
I'm all for. So I was hazed before, but it was never like this brutal, hazing stuff that I've heard about. But I mean, when I played ball in high school, I was hazed.
It's normal.
I had to endure my hazing situation, but there was no physical abuse.
Right.
There was they put a bag over our head. The freshmen that were starting varsity put a bag over our head, led us through the locker room. We ended up in the showers, and then they gave us something to eat, and they said it was something else, and it was actually like peeled grapes or something. I don't know. I don't remember. Peeled grapes and oatmeal. But it was nothing that was gonna. It was just good, clean fun.
Right. I mean,
so I don't know. So if they're investigating hazing and they're not saying what it is, I've heard of terrible hazing. I've heard of they just beat the hell out of these kids.
I mean, someone that I know who I can't mention who or what school, what they would do is all the upperclassmen would bring something to put into a trash bag. And it was typically your favorite drink or a liquid of some kind. And it wound up being anything from Tabasco sauce to a soft drink to anything you could imagine. They mix it up and then all the freshmen have to drink it. I mean, and it has chunks in it and everything else. I mean, it's disgusting. But I mean, that's just fun hazing. There's nothing, no one's getting hurt. You might get a few people throwing up. Okay, that happens. But that's not a big deal.
I highly doubt that that's what was getting reported here. I assume, because I mean, I don't know what you like as a school. I'm like, what do we even punish?
Well, they're not talking about the act of the hazing. They're talking about, did Pat Fitzgerald know, and could he have stopped this hazing from happening?
Yes and yes. But why?
He could have. But the reason why the act of the hazing matters to me is they're not talking about it. So there's some window where it's serious enough that it's like, okay, we're not really going to get into the details of this. Don't really want that out in the news cycle. But he should have been able to step in and see this coming. There's no reason why he couldn't have noticed, okay, this might be a bridge too far.
And maybe it wasn't. We don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
This could be some whiny little freshman that needed a safe space to go stand in. Whatever, man. Get over it. This is college sports, dude.
So I know a guy that he was in the military, and I'm not going to say what branch. I'm not going to say what his name is, but he was talking about his first voyage at sea. He was on a submarine, and the first voyage of sea in his boat. They have an event at a certain point during this voyage where they have hazing of all the new crew members. Okay. The hazing involved the new crew members had to crawl through an obstacle course in their underwear. And the obstacle course had like coffee grounds, and gravy and things on the floor and stuff like that. And they had some of them, they had to get on their belly and kind of work their way through.
That's funny.
And then they ended up into the area where King Neptune was. And they had to, after undergoing this trek through this obstacle course, they had to kiss King Neptune's belly. And then the hazing was complete. See, I have no problem.
I think
there was nobody getting hurt there.
Oh, that's funny.
It's funny as hell.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
But I mean, I've heard of also some nightmare hazing.
Yeah, I mean,
we're talking about paddling and
I mean, there was a situation when I was in Chattanooga at one of the local high schools where like kids were beating up other kids with pool cues and stuff.
That's what
like,
I mean.
Like that's too far to
that's
me.
That's not hazing. That's assault.
Too far.
Correct, but they thought they were just hazing, and the coaches turned their back to it. And you're just like, no, that's just physical abuse. That's not even
that's assault. Those coaches should get fired.
And well, they did, and also like criminally punished as well. So
Absolutely.
like there was a whole investigation that lasted a few months, and it got bad. And without any information, I don't know.
Yep.
And so it kind of, I just don't think that the school thought it was serious, because if it was a situation where someone was being physically harmed, Pat Fitzgerald does not have a job today, because that's cause. You can fire him with cause.
I just see one of these candy asses crying because he had to crawl on his knees, through some sort of a thing with like I don't know, mustard on the floor or something, and he had to kiss some guy's belly, and that was too mean. Yeah, listen, I mean no disrespect, but I mean
I do. If that kid can't handle that, he needs to go away. Seriously, get out. Get over it, dude.
Anyway, so there you go. That's the latest from Northwestern. 18-year tenured coach Pat Fitzgerald suspended 2 weeks as the school wraps up its investigation into hazing allegations. Am I overdue for a break?
Yes.
Okay. This is the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's the middle of summer when your AC stops working and your safe haven becomes unforgiving terrain.
Why must get to water, honey? Call someone to fix our AC unit.
I did, and they're already here.
How long was they out?
Summers in Arizona are brutal. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air. From 24/7 emergency service to diagnostic checkups to full replacement, Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. And with federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to desertdiamondair.com or call 602-362-4599. That's 602-362-4599. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone today.
Before becoming a professional announcer, I took the announcer oath, which forbids me from misleading listeners.
Just wrap your heads around the reality of that.
That means I speak the truth when I say you can listen to us on your smart speaker. Just say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender for a Friday here on 1580 and 99.3. The Fanatic, as we are rolling on towards 6 o'clock tonight. Keon Rose, sexiest man in Sports Talk Radio, right over there. Next to him, the man, the myth, Magic Man. We still working on that, Ralph. Ralph Romano from Harmon Solar. My name is Randy White. Jeffrey O'Brien out today. Quickly, let's go to the text line. 888-368-1580. Nurse Scratch It. Donner and Blitzen. No, see, next week, Nurse Scratch It. I'm glad everybody is really fired up about this Kasai's Christmas in July promotion, where next week we'll be working in the names of the reindeer into everyday conversation. And if you text in when you hear the reindeer name, Santa's reindeer, by the way, not just some random reindeer like Dopey, Sneezy, or Doc. Those are not reindeer. Those are the dwarfs, by the way. You got to hear the legitimate reindeer name. You text those in. There'll be a drawing after each day's program. You could win a $50 gift card from Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. And if you keep track of all the names, then on Friday, text in all the names for your chance to win an additional $50 from Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. Our good friends over there celebrating Christmas in July, which if you haven't been there, Ralph, have you gone to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse?
I have not been there, but I do want to go.
Okay, so we need to plan something. Hey, Keon, have you been to the Kasai?
I have not, no, actually.
Oh, my God. So Jeffrey's been there. I haven't been there yet, but I understand it's amazing. I mean, they have like these artisans come to your table and, with the Ginsu knives and all that. Oh, my God. And they prepare it right at your table.
Sounds delicious.
I'm not a big Japanese food guy. I just want to go for the floor show. I just think it's going to be fun.
See, I love Japanese food. I'd be.
Do you? What's your favorite?
Oh, any hibachi situation. The way they cook the steak and
now have you
fried rice?
What was that restaurant, Ralph, where you went and the guy was standing there and you were kind of around his cook area?
Benihana.
Have you ever gone to a Benihana, Keon?
Can't say that I have. No.
Oh, those guys are so good. They're like
amazing.
They're chopping up shrimp in midair, and then they grab it with a fork and they flip it over to you. You better have your mouth open.
Okay.
So they're going to hit you right between the old choppers.
Food was so good too.
Well, I understand Kasai is like, I don't know, maybe 100 times better than that.
Of course, Jeffrey knows, but none of us do.
Well, Jeffrey lives a privileged life.
Yeah,
guys.
I was gonna say he's privileged.
Okay. I'm not jealous. I understand.
I'm a little jealous, but I still understand.
Mr. Wilbur on the text line at 888-368-1580. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Big George, sorry about us stealing the top recruit in the state of Arizona. Suck it. So, Big George, easy.
Wow.
Got very personal real fast.
I don't know why the fourth dimension is so well. I can understand. It's kind of hot outside. And if you don't have that cornstarch in your shorts, you get a little grouchy. You know what I'm saying?
Cornstarch.
Ralph, you know what I'm talking about, right?
I really don't.
You put the cornstarch in your shorts so you don't get grouchy. You don't
Really?
get the chafing and the rash and all that. You get the baby powder or cornstarch going on there.
Yeah, I don't do
I mean,
that.
it's hot outside. Can we just talk? It's hot.
Yeah, it is.
It's getting hotter too.
Yep.
Miss Kim had to set me up today. She's home working from the house today, and I'm a blessed man. If she made me go outside today, I was losing my mind earlier. And she got me a cigar out the humidor, and she said, "Here, sit down and have a cigar and try to calm down." And it worked, because Miss Kim's really smart. But I got to tell you, it's hot outside.
Yep.
It's time of the year. Fourth Dimension, back me up here. You got to get the cornstarch out. You got to get the powder going. The plumes of powder. You take the shower, you dry all off. You get the plumes of powder going, and you step into your briefs for the day. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I deliberately spend so much time inside.
I do too, but I still have to. Listen, I walk around in a cloud of powder all day.
Cloud of powder.
Listen, when you get to be my size, 888-368-1580.
Got to do what you got to do, I guess.
I'm just imagining this. Do you have like a powder table or?
Remember Pigpen from Peanuts?
Yes.
That's me with powder. This time of year.
It's always happening. There is no one location.
That's why I don't come into the station, because I'm afraid I'll leave a powdery dust over everything. That's why Ron doesn't want me in the studios, during this time of year. He has to pay extra to have the cleaning team come in. Big George on the text line says, "I'll tell you the worst hazing I've seen. Mike Hazen, that's a GM of the Diamondbacks." Big George, will you? Dear God. You're wearing me out, bro. Keon, Texas haven't even played a game. It's 50 days today to the start of a college football season. And Texas, they're already talking about Texas having the best wide receiver room in the college football. They're talking about Texas having an edge at quarterback. They're talking about Texas having a defense that's going to be stifling. And the Big 12 released its predicted order of finish for the 2023 season. And guess who is winning the Big 12 according to these talking heads on TV?
Well, it's not just the talking heads. It's the media that covers the conference. And when they get together for the media days, the media votes, and they vote for who's going to finish first in the conference and who's going to be, player of the conference and all that other stuff. And they voted Texas as the number one team in the Big 12, which on paper, which is not where you play games, but on paper, they are. I mean, I don't think that that's necessarily up for debate, but they have to go out and execute. Yeah, Quinn Ewers has to go out and build upon what he did last year. That's I don't think that this means they're going to win the Big 12, and I don't think that everybody is crowning them the Big 12 champs. Just if you had to make a pick today, your way too early prediction, which is all the preseason prediction is. Yeah, you'd say Texas if you just looked at the rosters.
Texas, Kansas State 2, Oklahoma 3. Easy, Boomer Sooner. It's just a preseason poll thing. Don't get all mad at me. Texas Tech 4, TCU, Baylor, Oklahoma State, UCF, Kansas, Iowa State, BYU, Houston, Cincinnati, and West Virginia. What the hell's happened to Cincinnati? The Bearcats were playing for a damn national championship 2 seasons ago? And now they're at the bottom of the Big 12?
Yeah, I mean, that is what happens when your head coach leaves and goes to coach Wisconsin. Scott Satterfield comes in. I think he's a good coach too. He's a quality coach in his own right. But this is, the biggest football program, the most pressure that he's been under, in his coaching career as a head coach. So, yeah, I think that's where Cincinnati is. They're going to have to rebuild that program.
What about TCU? Last year, they were number 4 in the country going into the playoffs. They got into the playoffs. Okay. They didn't win the championship, but they've got TCU finishing like 5th.
Yeah. Again, this is like another situation where you victim of their own success to a degree. Had a lot of guys go to the NFL, so they have to retool a little bit. Like they're not going anywhere. They're a good program. You know, they've got a ton of resources at their disposal. They've got a great reputation. They'll be able to recruit and build back. But yeah, you get your quarterback going to the NFL, your top wide receiver going to the NFL, and a lot of guys on your defense going to the league as well. You're not going to be as good.
We are 50 days from college football. Can I get an amen from my co-host here today? Because it is almost time for college football.
Fight on, baby. Fight on.
All right. More college football. We got some NFL on the way. I don't want to talk about Diamondbacks anymore. Can we not, please? Next, are also going to talk about rating NFL quarterbacks according to CBS Sports. I think you'll find a lot of fun in this. Your texts and a whole lot more on this day in Big Georgia sports history. It's all around the corner. You're on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
If you're hiring, it can feel like trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. Like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Now try ZipRecruiter free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/FREE.
And now, here are the top 3 things experts recommend you do to survive the summer with a broken AC. 1, breathe very slowly. 2, do not make any sudden moves until help arrives.
Just ignore it.
3, calmly express your disappointment to your husband for neglecting service on your air conditioner.
They finally get me unstuck from this leather chair. I'm gonna kick your...
Summers in Arizona are brutal. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air. From 24/7 emergency service to diagnostic checkups to full replacement, Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. With federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to desertdiamondair.com or call 602-362-4599. That's 602-362-4599. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone.
Christmas in July is back at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. Get a $20 bonus gift card for every $100 gift card you buy. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where delicious 7-course meals prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, and their signature cocktails. Now through July, for every $100 gift card you buy, get an extra $20 bonus card. Bonus cards cannot be used on the date of purchase. Go to KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. That's 480-607-1114.
Will Shakespeare here. Back in my day, I invented over 1,700 slang words like swagger, bedazzled, and my personal favorite, besmirch. But even I have trouble understanding slang words like yeet or bougie or
this is fire.
Actually, it is extremely smooth Shakespeare vodka.
Okay, boomer.
See what I mean? But there is one word that describes the pure quadruple distilled spirit crafted from an 8th century Polish recipe the first time you try it.
So lit.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Shakespeare vodka. So lit.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 Charles Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Daily Blender, hour number 3. As we start underway here, it's 5 o'clock straight up as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Right over there, that's the sexiest man at Sports Talk Radio. That's Keon Rose. Next to him, the man, the myth, the legend, the magic man. Ralph Romano from Harmon Solar. Jeffrey O'Brien is out today. My name is Randy White. You are the fourth dimension, texting in at 888-368-1580. Like this here, Blissful Hayes talking about Pat Fitzgerald having a suspension for 2 weeks for hazing violations at Northwestern University. A 2-week suspension sounds like a vacation to me. Yep. See, I don't know that it was with the, what do you call it, pay. I don't know that he got paid. I'll have to look at that. Thank you, Blissful Hayes. Boomer Sooner, Randy, the food is steak, chicken, shrimp. It's not weird food. The hell is he talking?
He's talking about Kasai, maybe?
Oh, okay. All right. So Boomer, you've been to Kasai? Boomer must be he must be one of those uppity ups as well. I mean, Ron's been there. Jeffrey's been there. I haven't been there. You haven't been there, Ralph. I would have thought for sure you'd been there. At least, you'd been on like a first name basis.
Jeffrey never invited me, so
Hello, Mr. Romano. Let me show you your table.
Yeah.
And you're right, Randy. He's been suspended the 2 weeks without pay.
Thank you. Thundar the Santa Barbarian. Little known fact about teppanyaki chefs. If they overcook your steak, they have to apologize by cutting off a finger. True story. Maybe.
Maybe.
Raven Kid, Randy, do what LeBron does pregame with chalk, but with powder. See, I've done that. First of all, Miss Kim doesn't understand and she doesn't like it. And second of all, I don't need it on my hands, man. Moist One says the real ones know the Big 12 runs through BYU. Wait, BYU's Pac-12, aren't they?
No.
BYU
they were independent for a long time, and they have recently joined the Big 12.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, they are ranked fourth to last in this poll.
So have they played
not
in the
exactly
Big 12?
through?
So they suck.
Have they played yet in the Big 12?
No. This will be season number 1.
Lost Toby, I dropped my cloud of powder at the White House. Wait, what?
Different powder. That
What?
does not stop chafing. It does.
Wait.
Might stop your heart, but
It's good.
Hamilton Porter says, God, I can't wait till USC joins the Big Ten so I can watch my Wolverines bitch slap Ralph's Trojans all over the Coliseum.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. I can't wait to play those pathetic Big 12 teams. It's going to be fun.
So they have a schedule. If they just announced it. Schedule release for when UCLA and USC joins in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking at this. USC will play 4 home games and 5 away games in 2024. And they will have 5 home games and 4 away games in 2025. But they're playing, where's it at here? They're playing the Bruins. Let's see. Season scheduled right. He's going to Bruins game against Maryland. Oh, here we go. Ohio State on the road, and they don't play Michigan
at all
in the first year. Apparently,
that's a shame.
Each team plays 6 division opponents and a team from another division on an annual basis, and the remaining 2 games rotate among the other 6 non-division opponents. With divisions going away after 2023, Big Ten moved to protect certain rivalry games for the foreseeable future, such as Ohio State, Michigan, and UCLA, USC. This article is really confusing.
The way that they've written it is ridiculous. And also the graphic that they've used is apparently a graphic for ants. Like you can barely read all of the teams and who they're supposed to be playing.
Well, I know UCLA plays Michigan and Ohio State, and USC does not play Michigan. They play Ohio State. Or maybe they play Michigan at home. I don't know.
USC is at Maryland, at Northwestern, at Penn State, at Purdue, Illinois at home, Iowa at home. I see Michigan.
Yeah, there's the Michigan on the road.
I see Michigan at home in 2024.
Oh, no, the home is in gray. Oh,
yeah, so they do play Michigan and Wisconsin at home.
Yeah, but they don't play Ohio State.
No, not until the second year.
So it'll be interesting to see if Caleb Williams is still with SC in 24 or not. So he might not be. He might be. We'll see.
Yeah, could be. I mean,
he could,
because as much as everyone goes, as soon as you can go to the NFL, you go. But Andrew Luck stayed all 4 years.
Yeah, he might stay just to go into the schedule, to play against these teams.
Well, anyway, it also draw Penn State. See, they will play Michigan at home. That's right.
Yeah.
Bruins play Ohio State and Michigan on the road in 2024. UCLA will play Michigan at home. Trojans also draw Penn State, and the UCLA Bruins do not have the Nittany Lions on the schedule. A game against Maryland will be the longest road trip for the Trojans, which will be interesting, in my opinion. UCLA will go all the way to Rutgers.
Up in Piscataway.
Yeah. USC's shortest road trip for USC, besides UCLA, will be a game against Purdue, while UCLA's shortest commute is to Iowa.
That's the shortest.
What's interesting is SC's 5 road games are in consecutive order. They're all in 5 straight weeks.
Are they really?
Yeah. At Maryland, at Northwestern, at Penn State, at Purdue, and then, at UCLA, which is technically not going anywhere.
I can kind of understand. But I don't know how they're going to do this on a year-to-year basis. So, are you going to really just be on the road crazy. 5 games in a row? But to make the scheduling work, I mean, you're playing a bunch of teams in the East. It's just easy to just hit all of those stadiums and then go back home.
That's it. UCLA and USC are going to have to move out of California.
Just pick them up and move them.
Yeah.
Have a Midwest campus.
Yeah, they're going to have to go to Nebraska or somewhere.
It's an advantage for them because they get to basically stay home the last 5 weeks of the season, which is nice. No travel.
So, as long as you don't mind running that gauntlet on an annual basis, because that's a tough bunch of teams to play on the road.
Speaking of Pac-12 Big Ten swap outs, how'd you like to be Reggie Bush? Mark Ingram II officially joins Fox Big Noon Kickoff, replacing Reggie Bush. It's not the first time this has happened. Mark Ingram replaced Reggie Bush with the New Orleans Saints.
Oh my God. Wow.
How'd you like to be Reggie Bush?
He's pissed.
Just of all the human beings.
Curse you, Mark Ingram!
Not you again. Anybody else. Any other running back. Just not you.
What does Mark Ingram have on Reggie Bush? I want to know this. I
maybe he just likes ruining his life.
I want to know what's going on between Mark Ingram and Reggie Bush.
Oh my God! I can't.
And not only that, Mark Ingram is going to work with Matt Leinart, who was Reggie's quarterback. Damn.
I always thought Reggie was good. I like why replace him?
Reggie was smooth. I didn't know why they were doing it. Is he have other business things that are going to take? What? Give me the answers, Ralph. What's going on with Reggie Bush?
I have no idea. I don't know what's up with Reggie Bush.
He was doing those Wendy's commercials. He was doing so good.
I don't know. Poor Reggie.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mark Ingram replacing Reggie Bush.
Contract dispute.
Oh.
So he wanted more, and they went after Mark Ingram. That's got to feel real good.
That seems personal on the part of Fox.
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
Reggie's like, I got to quit asking for a raise, man.
Yeah.
So let's get this out of the way before we get into our discussion about the rating the NFL quarterbacks. So the Blazers and Damian Lillard, everybody's heard. Damian apparently wants to leave Portland and seemingly, allegedly, wants to go to Miami exclusively. And I say seemingly, allegedly, because over the weekend, I was reading some articles, and then today, in doing research for the show today, we found out that his agent has been going to other teams saying, yeah, look, don't try to trade for Damian. You're going to get a sad player. He's not going to play up to his potential.
Well, I was reading his agent was telling people he's just not going to show up to camp.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun. You don't want to do this. And meanwhile, Damian is getting on he's getting on the Twitter world, and he's saying cryptic tweets like I'm amazed, and how can people know who how people could know so much and so little at the same time, and then nothing. It just went silent, as if to say something about his agent doesn't know what he's talking about. The pundits on TV, the talking heads don't know what he's talking about.
Well, his agent, I hope his agent knows what he's talking about, because that's the problem. That's the guy that's trying to negotiate the damn trade.
So what the hell is going on here? Does Damian want to go to Miami? Is he open to go somewhere else? Is his agent somehow have the Alzheimer's or something? Or what's going on here?
I think he wants to go to Miami. And I think his agent is saying exactly that. Because the teams that are going to obviously want Damian Lillard are going to leak this stuff because they know it makes him look bad, and they know it's important to him that he doesn't look bad. His reputation has always been as a guy who is loyal and level-headed and all of that stuff. So now all of a sudden you want to go to Miami, you don't want to go to anywhere else, and you want to be able to dictate to teams where you are and aren't going by using the threat of just not showing up to work. They're going to leak that. And I buy the leak because their incentive is to basically make you look bad until you just accept whatever trade. Maybe the Blazers leaked it, but whatever it is, I don't see what's there to be wrong about. And if he's going to be cryptic about it, then I don't know whose fault that is. He could just explain it. He just doesn't want to.
Can you tell me, Keon, why NBA players have to be so damn cryptic? Why can't they just come and say what it is they mean?
Well, probably because the agent advises you, hey, don't say too much about this, because if you screw up,
don't say too much. Look, if you just want to go to Miami, just say I want to go to Miami. Period.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to come out and say it because the leverage is supposed to be the fact that no one really knows what's going on, and so the agent, they can turn to everybody and say, look, is that true? We don't know, but once it's the cat's out of the bag, you want to go to Miami, all the other teams stop calling. And so he loses that leverage because you want to be able to get, all of these teams bidding against each other. If you're going to tell Portland, hey, you have to go to Miami, you have to send us to Miami, then Portland's just not going to trade you. And you'll be stuck another year in Portland where clearly by drafting Scoot Henderson, Portland has decided we're starting over, and we don't have to trade you right now. Why should we? We have all the time in the world. We've got an entire season up to the trade deadline to move you, And if you want to sit there and pout and talk about how you want to go to Miami, who cares? Like, we'll trade you whenever we have a trade partner who has stuff that we like.
So D-Book and Katie went on the Twitterverse and said a 36 unfazed. Or was that it? Unbothered.
Unbothered, yeah.
Unbothered. What the hell does that mean?
Why
can't you just come out and say what it is you mean? Why do you have to be so damn cryptic all the time?
It's vague booking. I don't know. It's like people just saying things.
Vague booking,
which is a really old term. But the point is that people go on Facebook and then say things because they want the attention, but they know that they can't actually say the thing that they want, because then it'll bring too much attention and then they'll actually have to explain it and answer for it. Damian Lillard basically tweeted about how he didn't understand stuff. And then the local Portland radio station was like, why? And then he gave an even more cryptic answer to that. I don't know why he's choosing to handle it this way. I think if you really want to be traded and you really want to let your agent do his job, turn off the social media. Just turn it off. You're not helping the situation with any of this.
It's true.
Ralph, what do you got to say?
I agree with Keon. Everything he just said was 100% correct. I mean, I don't know what else to add to it. I mean, he needs that leverage. He just needs to just shut up and let his agent do his job and let everybody bid on him and let the number go up as high as possible. And eventually he'll get traded. But to your point, I mean, Portland has no motivation to trade him at this point unless they can get something that they really, really want or really, really need, because they could just sit with him, like you said, until the trade deadline. Makes total sense.
So Portland doesn't want, something little. They don't want something small. Portland wants reportedly 4 first-round picks and 2 or 3 high talented players.
It's Damian Lillard in his prime. This is not the Washington Wizards getting hosed on a trade with the Suns, because they were stupid enough to give Bradley Beal a no trade clause. That's why whatever Bradley Beal wanted. Hey, no, you can't trade all of those guys for me, because then I've got no teammates when I get over there. So he just says no to every trade. So until you basically get no return, because anything you want, he's just going to say no to until he gets a situation he likes.
So
Damian Lillard didn't get a no trade clause. So guess what? He gets to go where the Portland Trailblazers want to send him. They don't have to send him to Miami.
So all right, we're up against a break. I want to continue this after the break. 888-368-1580. I'd love to know what the Fourth Dimension says. It's a Friday edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Juice Reel, the betting intelligence tool that's making better bettors. Open the App Store and get your hands on Juice Reel. Start betting smarter. Juice, R-E-E-L. Juice Reel. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
The ever-shifting odds for the NBA championship for 2023-24, the Boston Celtics, who traded Marcus Smart to Memphis and then shipped defensive player Grant Williams to Dallas, picking up Kristaps Porzingis in the deal, but they're emerging as the betting favorite to win the NBA title at plus 470. The Denver Nuggets, the reigning NBA champions, are plus 480 to repeat. The Milwaukee Bucks at plus 550, while the Phoenix Suns, who are working around the roster of Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, are plus 600. The Miami Heat are plus 1,000. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-478-6688. That's 1-800-478-6688. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-478-6688. That's 1-800-478-6688.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
There's a right way and a wrong way to fight off mosquitoes. Karate chopping the air in a public place in front of your kids and their friends, Mom, is the wrong way. Using STEM mosquito repellent is the right way. STEM effectively repels mosquitoes by harnessing active ingredients found in plants like lemongrass and peppermint, making it safe for use as directed around people and pets. STEM, rooted in nature, optimized by science, and embarrassment-free.
It's the middle of summer when your AC stops working and your safe haven becomes unforgiving terrain.
Why must get to water, honey? Call someone to fix our AC unit.
I did, and they're already here.
How long was they out?
Summers in Arizona are brutal. That's why thousands of Arizonans depend on Desert Diamond Air. From 24/7 emergency service to diagnostic checkups to full replacement, Desert Diamond specializes in both residential and commercial HVAC systems with competitive pricing and experience to service and repair all major AC brands. And with federal tax credits up to $2,000, it's a great time to replace your AC system. Go to desertdiamondair.com or call 602-362-4599. That's 602-362-4599. Or search Desert Diamond Air on your mobile phone today.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Summertime, and the Diamondbacks are heating up, competing for the top spot in the NL West. What moves are the Snakes going to make by the trade deadline? Can this team continue to battle as we head for the All-Star break? Can Corbin Carroll continue his torrid pace to be the Rookie of the Year? Stay up with all the Diamondbacks news, info, updates, and rumors. If it's local, we talk about it. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's a daily blender for a Friday, July 7th on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. As we head for 6 o'clock tonight. Over there, that's the sexiest man in sports talk radio. That's Keon Rose. Next to him, the myth, the legend, the magic man, Ralph Romano. Harmon Solar.
Not sure I like that Harmon Solar whisper, but
Harmon Solar. I mean, I don't know.
It's like a OnlyFans Harmon Solar. I don't know.
Oh, no.
I don't want to show our panels. I mean,
Harmon Solar.
Come check out our inverters
and his naked panels. Jeffrey O'Brien out today. My name is Randy White, and you are the fourth dimension on the text line at 888-368-1580. Big George says breaking news. Corbin Carroll's MRI shows no structural damage. He's starting in center field tonight, batting second against the Pirates. Sigh of relief. I don't know if
I would not start him tonight.
I'm not okay. I'm not okay with that.
Nope.
Keon, you okay with that?
Yeah, no, I'm not okay with that. The way he was holding his arm, the way he was holding that, he was holding it from like the elbow. So that was a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Probably throughout his entire arm. I'm not okay with that. Like, give the guy a day off, give his body some time to recover from that at the very least. The MRI might show no structural damage, but that doesn't mean that you can't cause it. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you just got to let the body rest.
Yeah.
And it's very possible that he could actually cause that damage by coming back too soon from something that obviously happened. I'm not a doctor. I don't know exactly what. But you don't hold your arm like that for no reason.
I'm just looking up the All-Star break.
Now, I also want to know where Big George is hearing this from because I don't see
So the All-Star break, the event itself is July 11th.
Right. Next week.
So we're at the 7th, 8th, 9th. So they're off the 10th, 11th, 12th. They go back to 13th.
Some go back to 13th. Some go back to 14th. Not sure.
So if you let Corbin Carroll sit on the bench tonight, tomorrow, the next night, and the 3-day break at the All-Star break, that's 6 days.
Yeah, give him a week off.
Why don't you set him down?
Absolutely.
If I'm Torey Lovello, I set that kid and I let him sit there for 6 days. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even put a jersey on.
Yep.
He puts a warm-up on, and that's it. That kid doesn't even have to put his cleats on. Just put your dugout shoes on and have a seat. I don't know what the hell they're doing if they're going to start this kid tonight. Tonight's game means nothing.
Right.
When you're talking about a season, number one, and number two, you're talking about a kid's future. Tonight means nothing. And you're going to play him tonight?
It's a potential franchise guy. You take care of the franchise. That's what you do in every sport when you've got a star. You take care of them because that is, a potential shot at making the playoffs, a potential shot at making a run, a potential shot at ticket sales. Like it's everything. It is everything. You've got to take better care of him than that. And when we're doing this for the second time this season, like it's not just the first time. This is time number 2 now where he's had to leave a game holding the exact shoulder that got surgically reconstructed. That is insane. It's insane.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Keon, keep checking, will you?
I just don't think they could be that stupid.
Oh, I believe Lovello could, yeah.
That's a next
true.
next level stupid.
Torey Lovello could be that stupid. Yeah.
I mean, that is, if he gets hurt, that is baseball malpractice.
Yeah.
Of such a high order. Torey Lovello shouldn't manage anything again.
Agreed.
Big George says CBSSports.com/fantasy/baseball/news/Diamondbacks -Corbin-Carroll -inline in -lineup -after -shoulder -scare /amp/.
Did you get all that, Keon?
Did you get all that?
You could have just said under MLB at Fantasy News, and I would have. And that would have been enough. Yeah.
King of Kittens says USC has appeared 34 times in the Rose Bowl with 25 victories. So
That's
they're 25-10. Is that what you're saying? 25-9?
Yeah, 25-9.
I went to Phoenix College. What the hell do I know about math? Mr. Wilbur says, mark my words, the only thing the University of Texas football team is going to win is the number of Jack Daniels bottles that their coaching staff can knock down after their first 3 or 4 losses of the season.
Is that Boomer Sooner?
That is not Boomer Sooner.
Okay. Oh,
that is Mr. Wilbur.
That's aggressive.
I mean,
I'm surprised Mr. Wilbur can find a Jack Daniels bottle. I mean, that's just me.
Wow.
Why is Mr. Wilbur coming at me this hard?
I don't know.
Who does Mr. Wilbur even root for?
He's got a little, you know what?
Who does he even root for?
They got a 5-star recruit. Now he's feeling his
he's a U Arizona?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. Mr. Wilbur, Texas would run your Wildcats over.
Are you kidding me right now? Mr. Wilbur?
They'd be finding little pieces of kitty cat all over the damn road. We wouldn't even notice you were there. What are you? Your team just got a 5-star. You want me to pull up the 24/7 and see how many 5 stars they got last cycle?
Yeah.
One in like 20 years.
Come on. You got from the beginning of the star rating system. This is your first one. Mr. Wilbur, you're just getting to the show. You're just getting here.
Don't get cocky. Don't get cocky, Mr. Wilbur.
Hold on.
Don't get cocky.
You would be flat. I mean,
by their second team or their third team.
Yeah, I mean, by God, ask Boomer Sooner what happened last year. I mean, they're still at the Texas State Fair scoring touchdowns. You have one 5-star edge rusher. Good for you. I was nice today. I complimented your coach and his recruiting. You're going to come after my Longhorns like that. There would just be a mist if our teams collided.
Just a complete mist. Kind of like what's left in my bathroom after I shower.
Oh my gosh. All that cornstarch.
Damn, Mr.
Good
Wilbur.
Lord. Where did that come from?
I think you just got roasted. Blissful haze. What is a blissful hazing?
Blissful hazing.
I don't even want to know.
Thundar the Santa Barbarian. You know, the Big Ten is an appropriate conference for USC and all the Nepo baby, academically questionable, excuse me, undergrads there. After all, the Big Ten obviously can't count.
Okay, there are 16 teams in the Big Ten. What? It's a branding thing.
Yeah, they're probably called the Big 16.
Mr. Pink Eye, if you're Caleb Williams, I don't know what's going on. If you're Caleb Williams, would you rather play at USC and make millions or play at sucky team in the NFL like the Sea Chickens? Well, he wouldn't play for the Sea Chickens.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, he has no shot at playing for. I wish he could play for Seattle.
Like Geno Smith was too good.
He's gonna play for the Cardinals.
Well, he might not. I mean, he doesn't have to come out. So we'll see.
Fish Tank, when did players start outright asking for a trade in the 90s?
I mean, players have asked for trades before, but to the degree that we're seeing it now, it was with the same CBA where LeBron went to Miami precisely because the CBA allowed for those shorter contracts. And once the contracts got shorter, then it wasn't nearly as bad of a deal for you to move on from a player that just didn't want to be there. It got financially better for teams ultimately. So that really opened up the door, which is how we ended up with guys asking for trades like 2 years into a 5-year contract.
So, Ralph?
Yeah.
If you were to walk into your boss's office and you said, I don't know, maybe, hey, you know what? I'm done here. We're not going anywhere. I know I have a contract, but I'd like to work for, I don't know, I'm just making a name up here, Lone Wolf Solar. Why don't you see what you could do about trading me to Lone Wolf Solar? How do you think that would be greeted?
First of all, Lone Roof Solar is in Minnesota, so that's interesting that you said that.
Well, I didn't know. I was just trying to make up a name.
No, you did a good job
on the fly.
And then you actually made up a real company.
Well, I'm a damn marketing genius. You guys need me at Harmon. But anyway, go ahead.
I think that he would not take to that very kindly, and I think he would tell me to take my butt back to my office and finish out my contract, doing what I was paid to do.
So, can you explain to me? I know Keon can, but I want to hear from you. Can you explain to me why Damian Lillard and some of these NBA guys, I feel like they can just walk into the office there and just say, you know what? I don't want to go to the Jets. I don't want to go to the Giants. Here's the only team I want to go to, and that's the Rams, let's just say.
Well, I think they do it because they can, and everybody else can do it too, and they do it. And if you see your brethren doing it and they're getting it done, why wouldn't you do it, right? I mean, why would you want to be stuck going somewhere where you don't want to go? I mean, you could get traded to, I don't know, for basketball. Who's bad in basketball besides his sons?
Like the Pistons.
The Pistons, right? You can say, I'm going to go play in Detroit or go play in Toronto. Nobody wants to do that, right? Who wants to live in Canada? So you're going to say, hey, I know I'm great. This is my prime time. You're going to trade me, and you're going to trade me here. And you're going to demand it. And because other guys get it done. So you're no different. I mean, I just think it's an entitlement that we've given to players in professional sports. I mean,
but yet you and I can't do it.
No, think back to Eli Manning when he got drafted, right? Or was it Eli? Yeah, Eli Manning.
Eli didn't want to go to the Chargers.
Right. Don't draft me because I'm not going to play for you. So they had to trade him.
John Elway.
Right. I mean, John Elway back even further. Correct.
Colts.
So this entitlement mentality has been around for a long time. It's just gotten more prevalent now in today's, professional sports. It's going to get worse.
So do you agree?
No, absolutely not.
Like with Damian?
No, you sign a contract, you play that contract out. Just like I don't agree with the guy that goes to the owner and says 2 years into a contract, I need more money. No, you play your contract out, and when you're done, we'll talk.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, then at that point, you can go somewhere else.
All right, Keon. Point, counterpoint. You're up.
No, Ralph's right. I mean, it's just you signed a contract. And like Damian Lillard's always gotten a lot of credit for being a very loyal guy. And I'm going to give the Trailblazers time to build around me. And they tried and he tried and he tried, and they just weren't able to do it.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, Damian Lillard was the one that signed a contract through 2027. If he didn't really believe that they could do it, if he had doubts that they were going to be able to get it done, he could have signed a 1-year deal.
Right.
He could have signed a 2-year deal with a 1-year player option. Say whatever you want about LeBron James. The reason why LeBron has been able to play on every single team he's ever wanted to play for is because he signs these 1-year, 2-year deals. Because he knows, look, I might want to leave. I might not want to make a commitment. I want the team to commit to me. So I'll get short contracts. And then if I don't like what I'm seeing, I'm out. And I don't have to ask for a trade. LeBron's never asked for a trade. The shorter contracts are less money, but he's willing to take the less money to have the flexibility. Damian Lillard didn't have the foresight to do that. Damian Lillard signed a deal that has him playing for Portland for 4 more years. They have no obligation to him to do anything. Not to send him where he wants to go, where they don't have the leverage.
And those short contracts are higher risk. What if you sign a 1-year contract and you absolutely bomb?
Yeah, or you get hurt.
So that's where you got to love a guy like LeBron who's arrogant enough to say, no, I'm great. I'll sign a 1-year. I'll have a great year, and then I'll do what I want the next year. Damian Lillard should have done that if he really didn't think that he was going to want to stay there, but he didn't.
And then right now we'd actually be in a situation where, if his contract were up and he wanted to go to Miami, he could sign and trade and get the max amount of money that he wanted. And Portland would take that rather than let him walk for nothing.
So do you feel bad about Dame? Then he doesn't get to go where he wants to do, and he should just go and man up wherever they trade him?
I trade his ass to Utah. Like that. Like I don't even like someplace absolutely boring and miserable.
Well, I mean,
he's go where we send you.
Well, as a team, who are you going to get from Utah that's going to help you be better?
Utah has some young players that are actually kind of nice. I would take Lauri Markkanen and try and add him and make him like a little young part of what we've got going on with Scoot Henderson, who we just drafted. Yeah.
And picks.
And of course, picks. They want a lot of picks. And I don't think that they're wrong to ask for that. Like ultimately, the Blazers have to do what's good for the Blazers. Damian Lillard's chance to do what was good for Damian Lillard was when he signed the damn contract.
Yeah. All right.
And if you're the Heat, when you take this guy on, you better be conscious of that, because you better not go long-term with this guy, because he could sit there and a year from now and say, I want to leave.
No, Pat Riley doesn't play. If you say you're not going to show up if you don't trade me, Pat Riley will let you not. Pat Riley's like, all right, cool. We'll eat the money to make a point, because you have to play at some point.
Yeah.
If you want the trade, you're gonna have to get up off the bench. So Pat Riley would actually be perfectly fine with that.
I don't think Portland trades him. I think he stays there.
888-368-1580. Blissful Hayes, bless you, Randy. Thank you. I gotta sneeze. I think that's the first time in 40 plus years I've sneezed on the air. Couldn't help it. I couldn't get the off button.
Yeah, you were in the middle of a sentence.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Blissful Haze. Mr. Wilbur, trust me, I do not have a nose that can smell bad whiskey like Jack Daniels. And if it's all over your coach's breath, I'm sure I can smell that as well.
Okay.
Your team would still be flattened. You can, he could have, 12 shots of Jack before the game. You would still be flattened. I don't even think you would have to coach the team. Just go out there and run plays, you guys.
Big
Drawn
risk,
in the dirt.
I think Big Risk is going to make you angry.
Oh, jeez.
Keon.
Oh, boy.
Didn't Texas get Arch Manning? He's going to be great. The best quarterback prospect in a long time, if I'm not mistaken.
Why would that make me mad? He's third on the depth chart right now
Because he's looked so bad so far.
Yeah.
But he's young, but he's a kid.
Yeah, he's a freshman.
Yeah, he has
Okay, he's a freshman playing against a defense that's got juniors and seniors on. He's not gonna look great. And I always knew that Quinn Ewers is going to be the guy because he looked really good last year. Quinn Ewers could potentially be the third or fourth quarterback taken in this draft.
Kum Kum says, have you heard of Kum Kum?
What a name.
Kum
Yeah.
Kum.
Kum Kum.
K-O-O-M, K-O-O-M. Kum Kum.
Kum Kum.
Kum Kum says, it's the 2K way, baby. Kids play too much video games. So you're saying that Damian Lillard,
What Miami is offering to Portland, if you tried to make that trade in 2K, the game wouldn't let you do it.
Damian Lillard,
The game wouldn't let you do it.
somewhere in Portland, Damian Lillard is playing NBA 2K in the GM mode.
Miami's
And-
like, yeah, take a pick and Tyler Hero. Like the game would literally not let you make the trade that Miami is trying to get away with right now.
Thanks for
Because
the text.
they know that they have the leverage.
Thanks for the text.
If that goes through.
Thanks for the text, Kum Kum. And by the way, I like saying your name. Text in more. We've got more text on the text line at 888-368-1580. We've got some more to talk about. NBA 2K4 features Kobe and Sabrina Ionescu. I don't know what to think about that. We'll talk about it next here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-306-8158 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-306-8158. That's 800-306-8158. What do you have to lose? Call 800-306-8158. Again, 800-306-8158.
Remember when you could go to the doctor and actually leave feeling better? Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Katz. The problem with our healthcare system is the focus on the system and not on your healthcare. At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our doctors are experts in full spectrum healthcare using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men and women's health. We help people find relief when other doctors have failed. Our naturopathic doctors can restore your pain-free life using cutting-edge regenerative treatments. We can also help restore balance to your immune, digestive, and hormonal systems. Addressing your cause can also improve both mental and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working for you, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call us. We're the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, Arizona at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161 or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
Arizona offers thousands of helpful resources for service members, veterans, and their families. But navigating the system can be confusing and overwhelming. Call 866-4AZ-VETS to talk directly to caring people professionally trained to help you. Get connected to resources and benefits at no cost. Just call 866-4AZ-VETS now. This message is brought to you by the Arizona Coalition for Military Families, the Arizona Department of Veteran Services, and Arizona's Be Connected partners.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the 6-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender for a Friday, July 7th. About, 15 minutes away. We will turn it over to the VSiN Sports Network. By the way, next week, you can win a $50 gift card at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. Here's how you can do it. When we're talking next week, each day, we're going to work a name of one of Santa's reindeer into normal conversation. Now, it might sound like this. Hey, Ralph, what are you Rudolphing this weekend?
I like that.
Hey, Keon, how do you think the Commandos are going to be blitzing this weekend? Hey, Ralph, has it ever dawned on you that I'm a great marketing expert and you should hire me for a lot of money? See what I mean? Mm-hmm. So a normal conversation working in the name of Santa's a tiny reindeer. If you pick that up, you want to go ahead and text that in, because each day we're going to give away a $50 gift card to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, and it's going to be on a fair and equitable drawing at the end of each day. Now, at the end of the week, if you keep track of all the names we give out during each day, and you text them in on Friday, you again will be entered into a drawing, a fair and equitable drawing at the end of Friday to win an additional $50 gift card from my good friends at Kasai. It's all part of their Christmas in July promotion that's going on. You want to be part of this. I'm telling you right now, the Fourth Dimension has already said, if these guys, they come to your table and they're chopping up the meal and stuff, if they get your steak wrong, they chop fingers off. I mean, I can't confirm that. I'm going off the text line. But I'm just saying, you want to go to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. And no, they're not going to fry up the finger and Fourth Dimension. Come on, please. That's sick. Anyway, that's starting Monday here on most of these radio stations. Let's go ahead and do this now. It's time for On This Date in Big Georgia's sports history. Back in the year 1948, on his 42nd birthday, Satchel Paige signed a midseason contract to pitch for the Cleveland Indians. Though viewed by many as the publicity stunt by eccentric team owner Bill Veeck, the crafty right-hander proved to be an amazing midseason signing, as Paige finished his season 6-1 and led the Indians to their most recent World Series championship in 1948. And the reason we're doing that on this day in Big Georgia sports history, Satchel Paige's birthday today. Born in 1906. Congratulations, sir, and rest well. So, Ralph, sports heroes that you would like to meet. Give me a couple.
Well, that I can meet. I guess I have to take Kobe out of it.
Well, no, I mean, anyone, just anyone you would like to meet.
I definitely would like to meet and talk with Kobe Bryant, because
right.
I just, I so much admire his work ethic and his focus that I think was unparalleled.
Okay.
Which I would just like to
All right.
just have a conversation with him. I'd also like to meet Steve Largent. Growing up, I was a big Steve Largent fan, and just appreciated his game so much. I would like to have a conversation with him.
Okay. Keon?
Yeah, I would probably also have to say Kobe. I just like it, near the end of his life, he started basically doing these basketball breakdowns where you just, the way that he saw the game was just different from how everybody else was looking at it. Like strategically, it was crazy. And also he's the kind of person that when he wanted to figure out how to stop Allen Iverson, he studied sharks. Like I did, like that's not a normal thing.
Sharks.
He studied sharks because of the way Allen Iverson moved. He thought it would be helpful. He found it helpful, by the way. I don't know. That's the kind of question I'd love to ask. Like, what was helpful about that? What is it about watching sharks, made you see, like that's that kind of stuff. I'd love to pick his brain on and all of that. And then Sean Taylor, the former Washington Redskin. I mean, that guy was, he was DC to everybody growing up where I was. So love to talk to him.
So for me, it was one of the guys I would love to talk to, Willie Mays. What a great athlete. I mean, if you guys missed, I mean, I don't know about Ralph, but Keon, you missed out. You didn't get to see Willie play. And I got to see him play as a child. I got to see him roam the outfields for the Mets. And then I got to see him play for the Giants, and I got to see him retire. But Willie Mays, Hank Aaron, another one.
Definitely.
Another guy that I would love to sit and just talk baseball with. Love to just get some life advice from a guy like Hank Aaron. Johnny Bench, I would love to meet him. He was one of my heroes growing up. The way he could hit the ball, I mean, just his natural talent behind the plate. I emulated everything I could from Johnny Bench as I was growing up, trying to be a catcher. And man, I love the way he played the ball. Ozzie Smith, I would love to sit down and talk with him. I mean, there's a lot of people I'd love to talk to, but
there's a lot of them. Two more, I would say I would love to have time with Tommy Lasorda.
Oh,
that guy just seemed like an amazing person to talk to. And honestly, one of my best one would probably be if I could have a dinner with Jackie Robinson.
Oh, can you imagine
to hear the things that he went through, to understand how he got through them would be just amazing insight. I can't even imagine what he went through. That movie that we all saw doesn't do justice, I'm sure, for what the things that he had to go through.
I mean, I've had a chance to meet in this industry. I've had a chance to meet some really great names, sports names. I just there's so many guys I'd love to sit down and talk with about sports and about life.
I mean, you got, Oscar Robertson, Ali. I mean, it's just.
Can you imagine having a coherent conversation with Muhammad Ali?
My dad did. My dad actually did stuff for Muhammad Ali. And got to spend time with him, and said,
"No kidding."
Yeah, I actually said what an amazing person he actually was back in the day. This is when Muhammad Ali was still, before he got as sick and everything else. So yeah, I've heard stories about him.
I've had a chance at the station to have some people come through, and I've been very blessed. I've been very it's been a great opportunity for me to meet some of these guys, but it's so fun to get to talk to some of the people, and you find out. I talked with Larry Fitzgerald for just a small amount of time, but he's just a normal guy. He's just like the three of us. He's a normal dude. I mean, he enjoys life. He doesn't. He's the kind of guy that I would be. You know what I mean? If I was like a sports superstar, he's just like a normal dude. He likes traveling. He loves his sons. He loves life. He loves his parents. Obviously, his mom's not here, but he loves his dad. And that's the kind of people I want to be.
Yeah.
You find that these guys that are like sports superstar. We were talking about Damian Lillard. I've never had the opportunity to speak with Damian. Probably a good dude, you know. This is just business for him. This is just probably, something that he's got to take care of. He doesn't mean any harm by it,
I like Durant would be a guy that would be really cool to talk to because he's just
Kevin Durant,
basketball guy, like just through and through. That's all he wants to talk about. That's all I'd want to talk about.
No kidding.
He scores so easy.
It's so we leave you with this as you leave the Daily Blender on this Friday, heading into the weekend. Think about those guys that maybe you'd like to meet. What kind of people they would be. I've met a couple of my heroes. I've had the opportunity to do that, and they're just normal people, man. Just normal people. All right. So for Ralph Romano, for Keon Rose, this is Randy White bidding you farewell. We'll see you Monday. Same bad time, same bad channel for the Daily Blender.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every